Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from wherever you're joining us from. You are welcome. We appreciate you taking out the time to be here today, and I promise you that you're in for a jolly good ride. Now, my name is Chris Oziofu-Ero. I'm a wellness coach. I specialize in stress mastery and holistic living, and I am privileged and honored to be your anchor for today. Now, what is happening today? Today, we are gathered for TW Oasis, the wellness experience. Now, this is an event that's been put together by TW Magazine in partnership with First Bank and sponsored by Verve. Now, we all know that we need to know more about our wellness. We all know that we need to do much better regarding our well-being. For a long time, we all assumed that wellness was all about food and exercise. But, in a way, we have pandemic to thank for opening our eyes to the reality of what wellness really is. Wellness is more holistic, and TW Magazine is a magazine that's been dedicated for over several years to making sure you live the best life possible for yourself. So it was pretty much inevitable that TW Oasis was going to spring up, right? And so today, for the course of the event, we're going to be looking at the varying aspects of wellness. We're going to be going at beauty, relationships, finance, sex, and of course, the usual suspects, food, fitness, and your mental health. Now, TW Magazine has brought together an eclectic group of individuals who will be sharing with us their professional as well as their personal experiences regarding wellness. So just sit back, enjoy yourself, and get ready to be entertained, get ready to learn, get ready to unlearn, and get ready to relearn. All right? Now, what we're going to do now is this. What is the best way to start your morning? Some of you might say a cup of coffee, some of you might say prayer. But for me personally, the best way to start my morning is yoga. So roll out your yoga mats and let's welcome Yogai Tochi.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. It's me, Tochi, aka Yogi Tochi, coming to you with one of my favorite yoga sequences. And it's one of my favorites because it's accessible for anyone can do it. And you can literally do it sitting in your chair. So I like to do these first thing in the morning, sometimes when I'm sitting at my desk and I just feel my body aching from being on my computer or being on my phone. So I invite you to pick whichever of these poses you like, maybe like the whole thing, and feel free to use them at any point in your day. So we'll begin by actually getting comfortable in a seat. So I'm sitting in an actual chair here, but you can actually do this seated upright in bed or seated upright on a mat. And you can cross your legs if you have the opportunity, but I'm sitting grounded in an armchair here. And I'm just going to begin by closing my eyes, taking a deep breath in through my nose and exhaling out through my mouth, letting it go. Then on my next inhale, I'll take my hands up over my head, exhale to bring my hands through heart center. Inhale, arms go up over my head. Then I take my right hand to my left knee and I take my left hand behind me for a gentle twist to the left. I'm taking 3 deep breaths here. As I inhale, I get a little bit taller, and then as I exhale, I twist a little bit more to the left. 2 more breaths, inhaling to expand, exhaling to twist even further. Final breath, let your shoulders melt down your back. Inhale to rise. Exhale to twist, gaze goes beyond that left shoulder. And then on your inhale, you bring your arms up over your head. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's take that to the opposite side. Inhale, arms go up over your head. Exhale, left hand goes to right knee, right hand goes behind you as you twist to the right for 3 deep breaths. Final breath here. Twist to your furthest, gaze goes beyond your right shoulder. And then as you inhale, you send your arms out wide overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Let's take another flow. Inhale, your arms go up over your head. Then you bring your right hand to your left knee, your left hand over it to your right knee, and then you bend at your elbows. You can either bring the back of your palms to touch or your actual palms to touch. And then you take a back bend, lifting your elbows in the air, and then exhale to fold forward. Inhale to come up into that back bend. Exhale to fold forward. Let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale to come into that back bend. Raise your elbows an inch higher. And then exhale to fold forward, leading with your shins and your forearms. Exhale to bring your arms up over your head. And then this time we're going to take our left hand to our right knee first. Right hand to your left knee. Bend at the elbows and take the twist that works for you. Don't be alarmed if this side feels different from the other. We're going to inhale to raise your elbows into the air. Exhale to fold forward, leading with your head, bringing your chin to your chest. Inhale, elbows come up into that back bend, engaging your core. Exhale, fold your forearms forward. Let's take one more. Inhale, coming into your deepest back bend so far today. And then exhale, forward, chin to chest. Inhale, release your arms out wide up over your head. Exhaling, hands to heart center. And you're just gonna bring your hands to your knees. You can't see, but I'm bringing my palms face down to my knees. And just 3 rounds of cat-cow as I inhale, bringing my belly full. Gaze goes up into the air. As I exhale, I bring my chin to chest and draw my belly button into my spine. 2 more. Inhale, bringing your chest forward. Gaze goes upward. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine, really hovering and bringing your belly button as close to your spine as you can. Final breath. Inhale, shoulders melt down your back. Gaze goes up. Exhale, chin to chest, belly button to spine. And you can just take a few circles here. Doing what feels good, going in one direction and then the other. Then we'll just take a breath to close it out. Inhale in through the nose. Hold your breath at the top. Open your mouth, exhale, and let your shoulders melt down your back. I feel great. I hope you do too. And if you have any questions concerning anything I've shared, I can be found at yogitochi.com or yogi.tochi on Instagram. That's where I do that's where everything goes down. And it's been a pleasure to share this with you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Thank you so much, Yogi Tochi. That was fantastic. Now, I'm a strong advocate for yoga because I believe that yoga is something you can do anywhere, anytime. Now, from the sessions, the routines that she did, she put them on the chair. It's something that you can do in the office, while you're just waiting for the next meeting or waiting for your next client to walk through the door. You can just, indulge in some stretches and get your wellness pumping. Thank you once again, Yogi Tochi. Now, there's something I wanted to tell you regarding TW Oasis. For those of you who don't know, TW Oasis is going to run for 2 days. All right. Today is our first day, which is virtual. Now, what we're doing today, we're just pandering to the new reality that pandemic has, basically thrown at us. Okay. So it's going to be virtual. What that means is engagement is still encouraged. You can drop in your engagements, you can talk, you can ask questions, whatever the case may be, and they will attend to you. Now, tomorrow is physical. We are doing it the old school way tomorrow. But tomorrow is an exclusive event. So that means that you need to really register and, basically be invited for the event. But the thing now is this, okay? I have goodies for you. But you have to wait to the end of today, the end of the session, before I can let you know what the goodies are and how you can partake in the goodies. So we have the next session. Let me quickly usher in the next session. I'm so excited about the next session. We talk about beauty a lot. We talk about beauty, we talk about looking good. The aesthetics, very, very important, because we like to say you are dressed the way you dress, okay? Now, in as much as we're taking care of our insides, it's very important. It's very important that our outside is also being catered for. Now, we have a group of women here who are going to be talking to us regarding their beauty routines and basically the things that we need to know regarding our beauty. This session is being brought to you by Zaron Cosmetics. Okay, and one of the panelists for this session is of course the founder, the CEO of Zaron Cosmetics. So let us usher in the ladies and let's enjoy what it is that they have to say. Now, mind you, it's women that are on the panel, but don't forget, men too can also benefit from this session. Okay, all right. So enjoy yourself, and I'll see you after the session.
Hello and welcome again to TW Oasis 2022 because we expect to have more. My name is Jennifer Obiuweri and I am the assistant editor at Today's Woman magazine. You're tuned in to our beauty session where we're talking about me therapy, and I'm joined by some amazing women that are going to be giving you insights on what me therapy is all about. Okay, let's get into it. So to my right, we have the founder and CEO of Zarin Cosmetics, and personally, I can say she's one of the flyest CEOs I've ever met. And then we have the amazing, I think I can say the words "black don't crack" really apply in this case. She's an expert when it comes to anti-aging, and she's the founder of Luxury Lagos Spa. In Zuri, we have Mrs. Aderele Edwards. And then last but not least, we have the king size premium pie herself. We have the amazing Nicole Chikwe here with us. She's the founder of Mommy Summit and the host of Mom's Worst Day, a personal favorite. So we have Oke Madwesi, an amazing CEO.
Hello.
We have Queen of Anti-Aging, Mrs. Aderele Edwards, and we have Premium Pie, Nico Chikwe. It's going to be an amazing session. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Jennifer.
How did you get all that, Jennifer?
I've been practicing.
You just touched everything.
Intro.
I know. Amazing.
Yeah.
Especially Black Don't Crack. And it's so true because time I met her, I'm like, oh my God. In fact, some lady told me, have you seen her? It's like chocolates. You just want to lick on her skin.
Literally. So we're here to have an amazing conversation. Okay. This is TW Oasis. The essence is wellness. It's the wellness destination, the wellness experience. And when we think of beauty, one thing that came to mind was talking about beauty from the inside out. So we said, okay, let's bring a great group of women together and talk about this. So I'm going to ask each and every one of you, what comes to mind when you think me therapy? Nicole, let's start with you. Okay.
Well, first of all, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much. So when I think about me therapy, I think about self-care. I think about being intentional in caring for yourself. I think that, especially as you get older as a woman, as a mother, whatever, there are a lot of demands placed on your time, and women are naturally programmed to put themselves last. So it's every other person but me. And I found in my situation, I'm sure it applies to everyone here, that you're pouring into all these people, but you're not pouring into yourself. And so me therapy for me was being intentional about taking time to take care of myself. Not just with skincare, because I mean, I love skincare, right? That's so important. But with my time, with my mind, just constantly trying to refuel myself in that way. I'm being intentional about it because no one is going to give you time. You have to kind of claw out time for yourself, and you need to be aggressive about it, because if you don't carve out that 10 minutes for yourself, no one is going to say, oh, hey, why don't you take a 10-minute break? Have you done a mask recently? You should take 15 minutes to do a mask, or you should take an extra 10 minutes to whatever, meditate, sleep, stretch, pray. So for me therapy is being intentional, being selfish about it, actually clawing out that time for yourself. I think that's my answer. Okay.
Speaking of time, we're going to talk to someone who I don't think time applies to.
It does not.
So, what does me therapy mean to you?
Okay, so that is embarrassing, but so I say every day or every year is the year of the selfie, the day of the selfie, which is about myself. And that's not from a selfish perspective, because I say that self-care is not selfish. Sometimes we can be made to feel guilty for wanting to care for ourselves or wanting to take time for ourselves, because like she said, there's so many things competing with your time, and time is never going to come and say, here I am now, use me. So I mean, you have to be intentional about it. So for me, it's not, like you said, it's not really just about using the skincare product. It's about being deliberate and being intentional. And it may be something as simple as hanging out like we are now, because it's a total package, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's wellness, both inside and outside, just being mindful that you matter.
Mhm.
I think sometimes we forget that we matter, especially as women again, because
Mhm.
the kids are there, the partner or the spouse, the job, the business, everything competing. And you cannot pour from an empty container. So you can only give from what you already have. And, so maybe it's 10 minutes and you can just say to yourself, I'm going to put on some music and just listen to quiet music, or dim the lights and put on some candles, or just shut yourself in a room or go for a walk, or just being intentional about taking time for yourself. So that's me therapy. And I think it should happen every day, not just once in a while. It shouldn't be
Absolutely.
something that you make time out for. It should be something that's part of your life and your lifestyle.
Me time is not selfish. That's something that you should definitely know. Speaking of me time, a lot of me time that women have is when you're doing makeup or your skincare routine.
Mhm.
As someone who has expertise in both fields as the CEO of Zaran, what does me therapy mean to you?
So thank you so much. So when they say both, that's skin and makeup and skincare, because we just launched the skincare range. And for those that don't know, so I'll just say ditto to what both of you have said, because you pretty much nailed every single thing about me time. And I mean, what Chocolate Lady said about just not being apologetic towards. I've always had my me time, like no sorries, especially because I'm a single mom and I'm also a businesswoman. I'm building this brand. So there's hardly time. You can always say there's no time for that. So, and the word they use, deliberate, you have to be deliberate about it. So I find myself just going to the cinema on my own. And it's one of my favorite time. And when I do that, I'm there watching my movie and having my popcorn. Please don't chat me up, because that's my me time. So I always say that, don't feel bad for me. I love just being by myself. I do my spa on some of my friends think I'm crazy. I do holidays on my own. And it's just amazing. You wake up when you want to wake up. Your thoughts belong to you because you don't have anybody interrupting you, no children, nothing. I go to the bar on my own, sit in the lounge and just have my cocktail. So I know, it is actually beautiful. And people go like, are you okay? Of course I'm okay. In fact, that just regenerates me. That makes me so happy. So me time, I've always had me time. I'm so used to it. Yes, I think the flip side is not having that one person that's always there and distracting you, because I'm just so used to it, and it's beautiful.
Okay, sometimes we think that we always have to be with someone and we always have to be doing something. But you don't always have to be doing something. You can just chill. You can just be quiet. It's okay not to pick up your phone. It's okay not to want to talk to someone. There's nothing wrong. You just need your quiet time, really.
I love the fact that we're all speaking about this from the same perspective, but also different perspectives as well. Because one of the reasons why we decided to put this together is because, actually, for women, they see you with makeup and all these things on top of your beautification on the inside. It can be very, very easy to forget that you need to be beautiful on the inside as well. So you have beautification on the outside, but then you need to be beautiful on the inside. So speaking of time, we've had time, and being deliberate, being tossed around a lot. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Really, how did you kind of take the necessary steps to get your skin looking as... Yes, we're going to talk about it.
I really hope this skin is really looking, because I see everyone.
It's looking fantastic.
It's popping, and I'm thinking
It looks good with or with. Okay, it looks better with makeup.
Stunning.
So what are the steps you took? How early did you start? And just getting to where you are now.
I think that there are some things that you cannot. Should I use the word circumvent? So, because you've said, "Oh, the queen of anti-aging," I don't know about that, but I know that I'm always proud to tell people I'm in my 50s, because I always get and I am in my 50s, and I know that in recent times, probably, I mean, even people in their 70s don't look it.
Yes.
But I also say that it's like building a house and not laying a proper foundation. So if you're not laying a foundation, chances are eventually they're going to be cracks in the wall and things like that. And I'm not saying that, oh, I've got it down to a T, but I would like to think that I do have a certain skincare regimen, and I didn't just start. I've always been mindful of how I look.
Right.
I mean, with or without makeup, because I think that the way you look affects the way you feel. So I always say that when you look good, you feel good. So we're looking at it holistically because it has to be balanced. So I was saying to you earlier, Jennifer, that if you wake up in the morning, you're in a good mood, you're very chirpy, you go look in the mirror and you find a big fat pimple, your mood is just going to go down because the way you look has affected, the way you feel.
Yeah.
So for me, people say, when should I start? I say, start early. Do I start in my 20s? No. So once you reach puberty, you know that your body is going through changes. So I'm not asking you, you're not going to be using a serum or anything like that. But you want to use appropriate skincare. You want to be mindful of what your skin needs. Because again, I say to people, there's no one size fits all. So I may not need to do what Jennifer is doing. Because again, we mustn't forget that some people have beautiful skin and it's just genetics. They're not doing anything extra. They have good skin. Should they neglect it? No. So right now I'm sitting under the sun and I'm like, I would typically never, put myself under the sun because I'm mindful that the sun is a major cause of skin aging and I don't want my skin to age. So back to your question, have a skincare regime. Again, that being deliberate and intentional and knowing that it's a lifestyle. So it's not like, oh, I have a good skincare regime, my skin is looking nice, and then I stop. It's a lifestyle. You're doing it whether your skin is looking nice or not. As you get older, I say to people, don't only look after your skin type. So again, people are like, oh, I have oily skin. And then they're just doing things for oily skin. I'm like, there are other things. Maybe you want your skin to glow. Maybe you want you don't want fine lines and wrinkles because your skin is. You want to be sure that you're treating both your skin type and your skin concerns, and they may not be the same thing. So that's what I've tried to do over time to say, okay, this is my skin type and this is my concern for now, because again, also the concern may not be the same all the time. So if I'm breaking out, I know that I don't have a skin that tends to break out. So I'm thinking it's hormonal, maybe it's that time of the month. I'm not going to go and change my skincare routine just because I'm breaking out, because I know my skin. So I am mindful of my skin. Again, I say your skin can change over time, and it does, especially as you get older as well. So when you get older, you may find out that even when you used to have like oily skin, your skin is now getting drier because your body is not producing those proteins that would typically hydrate and keep your skin plump. As you're getting older, you need to introduce serums and things, because the serums are high performance products that would give you more than your basic cream would. You may want to introduce a night cream because again, your skin is rested at night. There's no interference from the environment, from the pollution. So, and it's resting. Things work twice as fast. So yeah.
We all have like a specific skincare guide 1 to 7 that we all use sometimes, or you kind of mix and match now and again.
I do.
Okay, so Nicole, I have a couple of kids running around. You have a husband, you have a busy schedule. What's your regime like? Do you have one specific one you're like, hey, I start here and I end here, or what's that like?
I do have a regime because I've always had to have a regime. I've always had acne prone skin. I started having pretty bad acne when I was 14 or so. I'm currently 34. So I've been fighting for my life for 20 years, for most of my life. So no, I didn't. That's the one thing I didn't do. You did Accutane? That's the one thing. Really, it's really been a long road. And that's even how I got interested in beauty in the first place, just out of necessity. Just doing lots of research to try and figure out what my skin type was, what could my triggers be, products, ingredients that my skin likes, ingredients that my skin does not like. There are things that people, swear by that just never works for me. Yes, I've always had a regime, long story short. But my current routine of course, features a cleanser. But again, sorry, just to go back a little bit, you said something so important regarding skin changing, and that your skin type might not necessarily be the same thing as your skin concern. So I'm also trying to unlearn a lot, because I spent majority of my adulthood fighting acne. So everything is salicylic, benzoyl peroxide, just, fire, fire, fire. So, I'm just fighting, I'm just bombarding. The rest of my skin is dry, my skin is dying, but I'm like, no, I will do everything to kill that one spot, this spot, let it dry. Then I'll still use, exactly, hydration is always an issue for me. I'm like, my skin is so oily, I don't need to hydrate. So there are so many things, which is not true. In fact, we know now that oily skinned people need to hydrate just as much, because that that dryness of the skin can trigger your skin to overproduce oil. So it's just like a never-ending cycle. So but now I'm being a bit, as my skin has calmed down. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a long road. So thank you. That means
I don't think I ever saw you not beautiful. So
thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying
so
that.
so you hit it well.
Thank you.
Or sometimes you think you have some problem, but it's not only you see.
Okay, so what I would say to that is, I definitely had acne, but having breakouts and having acne that, okay, I'm breaking out, it does not mean that I'm not beautiful. So this is something we're working on. I'm a work in progress, but that doesn't mean I'm not beautiful. And so, it really it really caused me to work again on my mental health. And that's why I think that beauty and wellness go hand in hand, because you're trying to figure this thing out. You are working on things on the outside, but also working on things on the inside. So, okay, I've woken up today, I have 10 pimples on my, what next? I still have to go out into what I still need to do, what I need to do. That's one thing. So trying to build up your self-confidence. And then even in terms of what you're consuming, it is so important. There's such a link between our lifestyles, what we're eating, what we're drinking, and what is manifesting on the outside. So inside, yes, in terms of your mental, but inside in terms of the way you actually take care. It's more than skin deep. So I'm currently on a routine that has obviously a cleanser, a toner. I use a toner now twice, 3 times a week. This is someone who used to use a toner twice a day. Salicylic acid, I said fire. Fire. And I could see my skin was dead. But I'm like, I just want to dry it. If anyone who has acne, you know what I'm talking about. You're fighting, you're like, let me, exactly. Exactly. So when I feel like I'm doing something, I'm seeing my skin cracking and drying, I'm like, yes, so dry up. Everything will now, it's horrible. So yes, I use a cleanser, of course, morning and night. I use a toner twice, 3 times a week, but depending on how my skin might be feeling. I'm also learning not to be too restrictive, and just also paying attention to my skin and what it might need that day. Of course, cleanser, toner, moist, sunscreen.
That's the god of skincare products.
Exactly.
That is the god of skincare products.
To sunscreen, since we're talking about it again, like you said, so we have intrinsic aging. Since you decided to call me the queen of so your intrinsic aging, those are things you cannot do anything about, like your hormones. You're going to get old. Everybody's going to get old. Well, the extrinsic one, the major cause, and then I think sometimes people don't realize that the skin on your face is so different from the skin on your body. That is so true. They keep using the same product, so they're like,
exactly.
And that comes even with sunscreen. So not all sunscreen is meant to be used on your face. Some, especially the heavier ones, they're for the skin on your body. They may not even penetrate the skin on your face.
Right?
Zaron is good. You have to be sure that, okay, this is a facial
sunscreen.
And then so then you won't get, and then so look, something light, something not too heavy, because you must hydrate. In fact, the oilier your skin is, the more moisturizer, you sort of need.
Yeah.
Your body needs that balance of oil and water. And when you starve it, like you were doing your salicylic acid, your brain is sending a message to your body. Something
Dry,
is wrong
dry.
here. We
Produce.
need oil, we need oil,
Produce.
we need oil.
Mhm.
So your glands start producing more oil, and then you start breaking out, and that's a vicious cycle.
And just to jump at what you said about mental health and acne, I think it's something that we really have to educate people about.
Definitely.
And people go like, and beauty, like, I know you always say beauty is skin deep, right?
More than skin deep.
More than skin deep, yes. But so many people think beauty is the skin. Seriously. And we have to appreciate where they're coming from. So important, because especially acne, it really can cause your mental health to really break. So sometimes you see people just don't take it for granted. They can't see beyond that facial or that skin beauty. Their inner beauty never comes out without solving that problem. So it's important for women and for people to really appreciate where everybody is coming from and be mindful of their journey. Yeah.
You have become the self-proclaimed and now all-proclaimed premium pie. I love how you embody that. So I want to know, how did that come about, and how did that kind of tie to how you see yourself on the outside?
It's still so wild to me to see how people have also really embraced this premium pie thing the way that I did. But honestly, me calling myself a premium pie really came from a place of pain and depression and feeling a complete lack of self-worth and not feeling like I had an identity anymore. I got married when I was quite young and started having babies. I got married when I was 24, had my first child when I was 25. I had kids back to back to back, and I just really got sucked in and into this situation. I didn't feel like I was myself anymore, because from everything that I had learned about becoming a wife and a mother is, okay, this is it. You know, once you have become these things, there's nothing else to, like, what more can you want, you know? And then you marry this huge super, you're like, you have it all. And then, you know, I had my son, I had a boy, you know, then I had a girl, like, you know, what is left? Your life is so perfect. And it was really, really hard to talk about, because the more I tried to talk about a feeling of dissatisfaction with my life, people seem to get angry. You know, people seem like, what do you have to complain about? Like, you're being selfish and you're ungrateful for your situation. So that made me shut down even more. And not having that, now not knowing what I was supposed to be channeling my energy towards, because this thing that I wanted for so long and I had always been told is the absolute epitome of what it is to be a wife. I've now gotten there. Okay, now what? It's, you know, but is there more beyond this? And of course, all of the things that come with being a mother, you want to be the absolute best that you can be. And, you know, in Nigeria, well, all around the world, but particularly in Nigeria, we equate motherhood with suffering. So the more you suffer, the better of a mom you are. That's why, you know, on your child's wedding day, the band will sing Sweet Mother for you. You get up and you dance, you know, and then everyone will clap for you. Oh, want to thank the mommy of the bride. Mommy, we appreciate you. Exactly. Mommy, we appreciate you. Okay, you dancing with your friends. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna have to wait 26 years for my Sweet Mother dance. And really just trying to figure it out, what I wanted to do with my life, and feeling purposeless outside of my children and my husband, and looking to my husband to now fill this purpose for me. And he's like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to help you. What do you mean? Exactly. I'm still trying to figure this out. What are you looking at me for? Because I'm like, no, you're supposed to just know. You're supposed to just make me happy. You're supposed to be my soulmate. You're supposed to see what's inside. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then, of course, looking at my children, who are amazing, beautiful children, but all of the stress that comes with, you know, having newborns, you know, and a toddler. So it was a dark place, dark period. Couldn't really talk about it. But I got to a place where, after a while, it took me a couple of years, I was doing a lot of research about affirmation and confidence, and how all of these things I was looking for from my husband, from my children, from all of that has to come from me, because that hole, like that vacuum, can only be filled, one, by God, right? It's only God that can fill that vacuum. A man is not going to fill it for you. Children are not going to fill it for you. Money is going to fill it for you. And until I resolve that vacuum within myself, I'll just keep grasping at things, because I was just looking for things to try and to fill that hole up, and nothing ever sufficed until I kind of got my life together and found God, amen. But apart from that, I started doing a lot of research on, well, first of all, started from my faith and the really beautiful, amazing things that the Bible tells you about yourself. And when I started to see myself in that way, the way that God sees me, how I'm beautifully and wonderfully made, how, while I was in my mother's womb, he knew me. And before I was born, he had ordained me, so things, I was like, wow, I started to really see myself in another way. I'm like, wow, I'm actually so sweet. I'm so beautiful. It was incredible. I'm like, wow. And I started reading about the power of affirmation and about how you need to say certain things to yourself and how you can unlearn things and rewire your brain. You can actually reknit your brain to see yourself in a different way. So affirmation became so important to me. And I don't know, something just came to me one day. I was like, oh, I'm beautiful. And I'll say, oh, I'm a babe. I was like, no, babe is not it. What can it be? I'm sweet. I'm a pie. I'm not just a pie. I'm premium. I'm a top tier babe. And it was like a joke, right? But I used to say this to myself every single day. And then I remember the first time I put it on social media, like, oh, there she go. Look at me, just looking so cute, just looking like a premium pie that I am, doing premium pie things because I'm a premium pie. And, people just latched onto it, and people just thought it was so fun and so funny. And, I just started calling myself a premium pie from there. And then people started calling themselves premium pies, and, I still till today get so many messages about how, that made me feel so good. Like, I call myself a premium pie now. And I'm just like, I can't believe that people, I'm like, yes, we're all premium pies. My birthday was on the 1st of February. And I was like, okay, so today, I don't know if you saw that on my page. I was like, today is World Premium Pie Day, 1st of February. I want to see all the premium pies. Let's go. Today is our day. Post your picture, tag me, because it's my birthday. Today is Premium Pie Day. Jennifer, my phone exploded. Everyone was posting, because Nicole said it's Premium Pie Day. So people were dressing up to work, taking pictures at work. Yeah, because I'm a premium pie. Today's our day. Premium pies tapping, and to think that all of that came from a place of a place of, just really feeling depressed and unfulfilled. But until that shift happened mentally, and it's incredible when that shift happens for you, how we can help other people.
I love the fact that you talked about how it starts as a joke. Because, affirmations can seem very silly.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't look or feel like what you're saying.
Yep,
Looking
absolutely.
at yourself and you grew up, people telling you you're not beautiful. You keep saying, I'm beautiful in the mirror, and you're alone in your room. You're like, what are you saying? But then you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep repeating and repeating. Consistency is key. So, Mr. Darren, I want to bring this to you. What role does affirmation play in your life, and how does that show from the inside out?
Nicole, I really, I love your story, and I really identify with it because I got married when I was 25. All I wanted my entire life was just to be married.
Same.
I just wanted to be married.
That's
and have
it.
A family. Because
I didn't want anything
my father
else.
died when I was 11, and after that, it was like I didn't have a family. So I just wanted to be married. And I took pride in being a wife and being a mom. That was me. I didn't know anything else. I was just wife and mom, and I loved it.
Yep.
And then when I was 44, going to be 45, my husband died, and I had an identity crisis because I couldn't remember who I was before I became who I then became, before I became wife and mom. I couldn't remember who was Aderinokun, who was she meant to be. And I think that, apart from the grief and the pain,
one of the major emotions I felt then was fear of, oh my God, who am I and what can I do now? So people say to me, oh, you're such a strong woman. And there I was then, not working. I had 4 kids in different stages of school, and yet I did not know who I was. And I realized that to move forward, I had to find me. So that's why this me therapy is so wonderful. I had to find me. I had to know who I was without all those other appendages.
Yep.
So if I didn't have kids and I didn't have a mom, because there are people who are never going to have kids, there are people who are never going to have children, but they exist and they can be happy. You know, you can live a fulfilled, you can live a happy life, whether you have it or not. I know some people may say, oh, it's okay for you to say you are my, but now, yeah, you got married and you have it. But I've also now been in the place where I'm not, and all those things that I thought made me are not there. And look, even the kids, they're going to grow up
and leave you.
Leave you. So who are you going? So who will you be then? Yeah. So again, I get back to what I said at the beginning about the selfie. You know, self-care is not selfish. You're not selfish for caring about yourself, and you need to remind yourself daily, which is where that affirmation comes in, that I matter. I matter. And you must love yourself. If you look in the mirror and you don't see anything to love, look deep inside you. I promise you there's something for you to love. And there are people who love you. I said to my 11-year-old, when she used to come home and say, oh, Mom, my friends don't like me, nobody, I said, the people who like you don't care. The people who care, they don't matter. So focus on being true to yourself and loving yourself. You have to love you. And that's a decision that only you can make.
Absolutely.
So, emphasis on self. You need to find you. And you don't start to exist when you're married. You start to exist when you have kids.
Or a job.
Or whatever.
Or social media following.
Yeah, that one.
You start to exist from the day you are conceived in God's mind, and then when you are born, and then you start to live your life. So I love that. Thank you so much. Now we're going to turn to you. Speaking of affirmation, and as someone who produces products, makeup, skincare, and tying that all with beauty inside out. We asked the question earlier, asking if they don't trump each other, producing both skincare and makeup. So how does that all work together? It's really for someone who takes self-care so seriously.
Amazing stories, such such powerful women. Well done. Your story was just so emotional. So emotional. And I'm happy you have that story, because you don't know what you've done in the lives of so many people, especially in your generation. Yes. We are a bit more thick-skinned, but your generation, they do need that experience and the voice that you have. So well done. Truly proud of you. Truly, truly proud of you. So yes, I always say that you're a factor of your upbringing, your environment, and your family, right? So unlike your story, I grew up in a home where my mother had all girls. So I have 5 siblings. They are all ladies. So imagine my mother I'm from Niger Delta, right? They always say that if a Niger Delta man has only girls, he doesn't have kids. He never born. Exactly. Putting it lightly. So I grew up having a mother that had to deal with all that insecurity. It was super bad. And the most annoying thing is my sister right before me, her name is Awenobo. In my place, it means change hand. So you know what that means? I'm supposed to come as a boy. Yes. And I had the guts to come as a woman. So I struggled as a last born, So I grew up like that. But what it did for me is it worked on the flip side, because I saw my mom struggle. So I said to myself that this is not going to be my story. I really would not care if, in fact, I was deliberate about wanting girls. Yes, because I said, I need to change this narrative. I need to have strong women, but most importantly, why do they fear all women? Because of inheritance, the male thing and all that, transfer of names, all sorts of things that don't really matter. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be a powerful woman that would not have to depend on a man.
You are.
So So that formed me right from when I was growing up. I did not care about what the husband would do. I didn't really think of children, what they would do. I just wanted to be successful. And for me, success wasn't about money. It was about contribution and just being able to make an impact, right? So that formed me. So when, throughout my career, before I started my business, it was important to be successful. I got married when I was 28 because I fell in love with a man. Not because he had to, I needed the man to fulfill who Oke was to be or validate who Oke was to be. Because Oke, what Oke had to be was already here because of what I saw growing up. So I would work hard. I would set goals, right? I would think of, okay, what is the next level? What do you need to do to get to the next level? Right? So it was always at the forefront. So I'll set the goals and start working towards them. I always say I start from the end. So I set the picture and I start working towards them. And you could get to it from different ways, but I just always put that picture there. But the picture I never put, I don't know if I put picture of being married and having kids. I wanted to, but it wasn't like something I had to do. So yes, but when I got married, love of my life, so I had to do it. So it was a +1. So it wasn't like it had to validate me. And having kids too, I just knew that I tell people that when my daughter was 3.5 months, I traveled on a work thing, right? Don't judge me because I don't judge myself, right? Because I always had the perspective that, you know what, I'm working because I love them and to give them a better life, to give me a better life. I have to work to make the life good. So I never felt guilty for most things that mothers carried. So that formed me. Like, I mean, when my husband passed on, I always tell people that now I see people on a shaky, we died on a plane crash. But when I'm on a flight, I counsel people, I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Whatever. What if it happens? God allowed it. Farabale. Do you understand? So that's what my experiences makes me want to be better in a sort of way. I don't know how it works. I'm not perfect in some areas, right? That has also made me so independent, right? That it can be a problem sometimes because I think I'm super independent and, but I'm not perfect in some areas. But I just know that as women, it's very important to just know that I always tell my children, you are the only person that can change your narrative. Only you. Just you. So you have to put in the work. No man, no woman, no boy, no parent. I say that to my children that I know that people say I love my children so much. They come first. I work for them now. But I said as soon as they finish school, I'm not going to write or leave anything for them until I pass. It's going to be for self-care. Yes. It's just going to be for because you know what? They will start their journey and I'm not expecting so much from them too, because that's just some burden you place on children. They have to take care of you. No, they have to also live their life, you know. If they do it, it's fine, but always take care for yourself and plan for you. It's so important. So when I decided to do Zaron Cosmetics, it was to cater for the woman of color. What makes the woman happy? How will the woman be expressive and be truly happy? And I found the space in beauty and I had to do that.
And you did it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to our amazing speakers that have been a part of this discussion. And thank you for sitting there and listening to us. We hope you learned more than one thing on this session.
Skin by Zaron Ultra Moisturizing Body Lotion. A non-greasy formula with the richest vitamins and acids to enrich your skin. Shop now at www.zaroncosmetics.com. Skin by Zaron. Healthy skin, happier you. Skin by Zaron Ultra Moisturizing Body Lotion. A non-greasy formula with the richest vitamins and acids to enrich your skin. Shop now at www.zaroncosmetics.com. Skin by Zaron. Healthy skin, happier you.
Welcome back. That session was mind-blowing. I don't know if you felt what it is I'm feeling as I listened to every single word that was being spoken. Now, it's amazing because this session is called Beauty Me Therapy. And what these ladies have proven to me today is that beauty is not skin deep. It's deeper than that. You know, they've been able to share their personal stories and they've been able to relate it so beautifully into how they've been building themselves up into beautiful women. You know, one had to fight discrimination, one had to rise from, you know, the ashes of a loss, and another one had to deal with depression. But in spite of all that, they were able to dig deep inside of them and bring themselves out. And I loved what Derele said. She said, for me to move forward, I had to find me. I think that's very important. That's very, very key. Now, this session was facilitated, of course, by the delectable Jennifer of TW Magazine. And, you know, the speakers were okay, founder of Zaron Cosmetics. You have Derele, the founder of Azuri Spa. And, of course, Nicole, who's the founder of Mommy Summit. Beautiful and amazing conversation. Now, the thing is, what we're doing today, again, as I said, it is purely a virtual event. What that means that the sessions that you're watching were pre-recorded. Now, because of time, you know, we've been able to curate just enough for you, you know, just to whet your appetite, all right? And of course, to give you some meat into what it is that was being shared. But you want to watch the full thing because, of course, the conversations are lengthier than this. You want to watch the full thing, please just come back to YouTube and catch the whole thing, all right? Now, we have to make this event trend. We have 2 hashtags. There are people who are not logging in now, logging onto the show now because maybe they're working or whatever the case may be, but we need them to follow the conversation. So please just talk about it on your social media platforms. Use the hashtags TWO2022 and TWOasis 2022, and let's get the event trending. And it's a very important thing to trend because it's wellness, it's your well-being, all right? It's very important that people follow the conversations and get to learn how they can boost their well-being. Yeah, this session was brought to you by Zaron. I'm wearing it. Perfect, beautiful. I feel, and I'm sure you can see, beautiful, beautiful. So it's not just talk, there's action behind the talk. Now we're going to get ready for the next session. We're talking money. Now, this session is brought to you by First Bank. Enjoy.
We're back and you're still with TW Oasis 2022. I'm your host, Jennifer Obiuri, the assistant editor at Today's Woman magazine. And I'm not supposed to be smiling because we're about to talk about something serious, money. We don't joke about our money, and we are here with 2 amazing women who are going to give you insights to 2 things. 1, investments, but not more importantly, but kind of the foundation of it all, your money mindset. I'm sitting with 2 phenomenal women. First, we have Ogogo Osula, who is the managing director and the CEO of OO's Valley Investments. And secondly, not last, not least, we have the awesome Mrs. Patience Keru, who is an integrative life coach and an amazingly certified money coach. So we're going to be getting a lot of insights today. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you here. When you think of your money mindset, what first comes to mind?
Most people have the wrong myths about money. Yeah. Most people feel like for them to have money, they have to earn a whole lot. And most people feel like, you know, the money is something that they can never have, or that somebody else is responsible for the kind of money that they should have and things like that. But some of the things we're going to be talking about today will demystify that and help people to understand that for them to be able to have money, for that money to grow, and for that money to be sustained over time, there are little things that can be done on a daily basis by anybody, whether poor or rich. So if you have 1 naira and you're not able to know the rules about money, if you have 100 million naira, you're not going to be able to keep the money. So I mean, that's my opening remark concerning money and mindset.
So, if we were to talk on money mindset, we would start with your outlook on money, how you see money, the way you act around money. We will talk on your emotions, on your patterns, on your energy around money, how money flows around in your life when we talk on the money mindset, because a lot of the money decisions, a lot of the money habits that we have, a lot of the money mistakes that we have is actually based on our money mindset. It's based on our upbringing, based on the environment around money, in our lives and all that. So I think I'll focus more on our behaviors around money if I was to talk on money mindset today.
Wow. Okay, so I understand now that a negative money mindset based off of negative behaviors or patterns that you've accrued over time, or what you've seen other people who are influential in your life, like your parents, those you look up to, you see them, portray negative or bad money habits. That can also affect how you invest, because then your mindset isn't right. So wouldn't that affect everything else that you try and put money into?
Money behaviors don't just come up,
Right.
okay? They come from your childhood. They come from how your parents have dealt with money.
Right.
They come from the people around you, religious conditioning. Sometimes it might even be significant life experiences, you see. And so worrying about how you invest, how you save, how you spend, how you budget is actually more on the, would I say, physical aspect. It's more on money management. What leads to these things are more on a psychological level. And let me say this, for so long, we've dealt with money management issues, business management issues, failures around our financial life with financial solutions, with financial strategies. And this is an anomaly because what it does is we're ignoring the behavioral and the psychological aspect of money in our lives. Yeah. And just as every other areas of our life, every other aspect or dimension of our life, it's not just money. We have other aspects. And the emotions that we feel in those other areas of our lives is also the same emotions and the same energy that we feel with our money.
People have the way they relate with money. Yes. Some people see money as a means of exchange. Some people see money as a store of value. Yes. Some people see money as something that they can never accomplish in terms of building the wealth, and that it has to be that somebody has to come and endow them with it. Some people feel that somebody else is responsible for helping them, to meet whatever their needs are. And she's very right by saying that it comes from behaviors and all of that. The thing is that how your money flows determines how you become in the future. So people that have the wrong mindset about money end up making the wrong decisions and doing the wrong things. And at the end of the day, they cannot have anything to show. After maybe 10 years of working or 20 years of working, they are as poor as they were before they started. And for that mindset, it has to do with literacy. There's something called financial literacy, and that is understanding the laws of money. Money, like any other thing in nature, follows laws. And for you to be able to learn how to relate with it, you have to understand the laws. Money, I like to look at it in terms of nature from the angle of if you wanted to have a child, you'd have to have some kind of fertilization, which would then be nurtured and then would grow. If you wanted to have a plant, you have to have a seed, which will be planted and also nurtured. So the same thing with money. For money to grow, the money has to first be generated, which is the seed. And that money that is generated, there are many different ways you can generate money, has to then be planted. Just like a plant, you understand? You know, and when that plant is planted, I want to make it as simple as possible so people will understand the concept. When it's planted, there are several issues that people should look at. I mean, let me go biblical now, if you don't mind. You know, they talk about good soil. So if you plant it in the wrong kind of soil, it will die. But if you plant it in the right soil, it will multiply. And then after planting it, you have to keep fertilizing it on an ongoing basis. But once it grows into a tree, which is what you want to achieve in having the right mindset, in a season, it will give you its fruits on an ongoing basis. We'll talk more about that. But the important thing to note is that the money and things that have to do with money follows the laws of nature. There has to be a seed. So first of all, the first thing is learn how to generate money. And how do you learn how to generate money? You have to have skills. And then you monetize those skills. So let's assume your skill is plaiting hair. You start to plait the hair. If somebody pays you, if they pay you 100 naira, the mindset is, don't take that 100 naira. It's too small. It can't meet all my needs. So I must spend everything. And if I spend everything, it's not even enough for me. If you want to be rich, you have to apply certain principles, which is, as you generate the cash, take a percentage of it. And the minimum is actually like 10%, 20%. Take a percentage of it and set it aside. And that's how, if you start doing that on an ongoing basis, you will see how it will start to grow. And as it grows, you'll be surprised how much fruit it can yield for you in the future. So whether you are earning 100, 200, 300, once you have that mindset that as I'm earning, I must set aside a portion of what I earn to keep for the purpose of investing, so that at the end of the day, I can accumulate enough such that money starts to work for me rather than for me. You know, so my life and what I've done for quite a number of people, we do our professions, we generate money. But what we do with the money that we generate determines whether we'll have a retirement where we sip coffee and our money works for us, and we start having money clinking in terms of interest, in terms of rent, when you have invested in property, in terms of dividends, when you've invested in shares, you know, and in terms of, you know, profit, when you've invested in trading or whatever the case is.
As you were speaking, one thing that was triggered was the fact that you mentioned trauma and childhood trauma and how that kind of marries in with having negative mindset. It's like how when you're growing up, some of us have actually done it. And your mom tells you can't ask your dad for money directly. You have to go through her. There are some women that do that. I know that my mom will always say, okay, if you want money from your dad, my dad was an Air Force man, so we always looked at him with this fear of, his daddy. So we go to, mommy, I want to buy this. Then my mom would then go and ask him. So even to date, it's kind of difficult to, even if obviously I'm independent and I do things for myself, it's difficult to go and ask. If you ask me, are you okay? I'll say I'm fine. But my mom said, are you okay? I'm like, I want to die, or Lagos is stressing me. So I formed a mindset around, if I don't go through this way, then I'll just be okay and just, be there. Obviously, adulting will teach you otherwise. But I want to kind of explore that aspect of childhood trauma forming the basis of having negative mindsets, especially when it comes to money, and watching those around us, our parents, our older siblings, how they handle money, how that can impact and affect us as we grow old and older and start to make money on our own.
For every experience that we have in our lives, our brain takes it in, processes it, gives it meaning, and then creates a pattern on it. You see? And so whatever experience that you've had with money growing up, you need to now go back and see how you have made money decisions after that period of your life up until now. And then see which one is serving you now. Because there's something that I have called the pill factor. And why I say it's a pill factor is because it's a key indicator on how we show up with money in our lives. And when I'm talking money, I'm also talking investments. I'm also talking financial literacy. And the pill is, you know what a pill is? When you uncover something, it's just like an onion bulb. You peel the first layer out. The first layer is the one you show the world. You peel that one out, you keep peeling out, and then at some point a transformation begins to come in. That's what the peel factor is about. And it's patterns, it's emotions, it's energy, it's language. Now, these are psychological factors, psychological key indicators of how money shows up. And now you talked about your childhood. You talked about how money is normally or was in your house. Now, there are other people that had it differently. There are other people that may have had repossessions. They may have had their cars being taken away. Their fathers had to lose their job. They've had significant experiences that had put them back to status quo or had imprinted something about money in their lives that is causing them now to make money mistakes. And when you say money mistakes, it could be they're going into debt. It could be they're having financial avoidance. It could be, some of them, it could be that they're having aversions. They don't like money. They feel that having too much in excess, makes them feel this sort of conflict with the world. And she was talking on investment earlier. And the truth of the matter is, if they don't address some of all these issues, these legacies that you're calling trauma, if it's not addressed, it's going to show up as money mistakes. And those money mistakes are the negative beliefs that you're talking about. They are the negative limiting beliefs that people say about money, about how money is the root of evil. Exactly. I can't have enough money. There's poverty in my lineage. I don't know how to save. All those language that people say is actually a reflection of what has gone on in the past. Okay? And the emotions that they now feel around those things are anger, frustration, overwhelm, conflict, feelings of inadequacy. And then some of them, they've under-earned. They bring down their capacity to earn. They're not able to show up in their best capacity, they're not able to show up in a greater version of themselves. The other one is the energy. They start to feel this sense of lack. There's this constant sense of financial lack going on. They don't believe that there's abundance and there's wealth. Those energy around money. You see, all these things I'm listing, they are things that now show up and what she now calls financial literacy, financial, solutions, money management strategies, how to invest, how to save, how to budget, how to manage your expenses. All this energy, all these behaviors, all these emotions that we take in, that we suppress, that brings disease and stress in our, money comes with a lot of toxicity, right? All this energy that we bring in is what shows up as money mistakes. And fundamentally, fear is the root cause of it. Why people can't save. You said something about having a millionaire earlier on. Why do we have that challenge? Why do we save so much and then blow it all up? Fear is the root of all our money challenges. Inside that fear is hidden insecurity, is hidden doubts. Buried in that fear is that sense of loss, that sense of uncertainty, that sense of, if I make it, will I lose it? That sense of, am I able to make it? That sense of undercharging, that sense of lack of clarity. All of it is being buried in fear.
I love the fact that you're talking about fear, because as you were speaking, what was coming to mind was how you have certain experiences in your life growing up, and you don't remember every part of your childhood, but there's some experiences that stay with you. Yes. So imagine a child who was there when his father was robbed or maybe assassinated. Why was he assassinated? Because he had too much money. So you say, if you have too much money, the bad people are going to come for you. So you kind of want to cap it like, okay, let me just make this 10 million per year and I'm okay. But then there's so much more that you can achieve. So that's very important. Now, I want to ask this before we go and take a deep dive into investments. Are there ways that you can spot if you have a negative money mindset? How can you as a person sit and say, okay, it's not that I don't have the right products. It's not that I'm not giving the right services. It's not like I don't have the knowledge. There's something else. What is it? What is it? Could it be that I have negative money mindsets? How do I know if I have negative money mindsets?
It starts with noticing. It starts with enlightenment, awareness. And how do you get self-awareness? You can do it on your own. How do you do it? You start to notice your patterns. You start to acknowledge, accept every mistake. It's just like you're trying to budget, right? Now, rather than see it as restriction, rather than see it as you trying to save money, right? You see, okay, what are the challenges that I'm experiencing with budgeting? What are my expenses? How do I categorize these expenses? How do I accept all these expenses, categorize them, and then decide which one to take first? Unless you now accept it, unless you start to notice it, you cannot name it. And if you cannot name it, if you cannot identify it and name it, you can't change it. And unless you do that, that's when the light comes in. When the light comes in, then you take significant steps. You take intentional steps to then start moving towards financial investments, moving towards better money management through better money decisions.
A word that has been tossed around for the past couple of years, well, most recently, is investing. So can you walk us through, let's say if there is a 5-step program or 5-step rule or a rule book for investing, can you walk us through from stage 1 to the stage where you just, keep maintaining, basically?
All right. Thank you very much for that question, Jennifer. So when it comes to investing, yes, there are rules and steps. And the first step when you're thinking about investing is to first of all do a personal self-appraisal to know where you are. So what is investing? To know where you are. Because what is investing really? Investing is saying that if I have 1 naira, I want to put my 1 naira such that the value of my 1 naira tomorrow becomes 1 naira plus. You understand? That it grows. That's the essence of it. It's not just about setting money aside. It's not just about saving. Saving is just putting money. 1 naira, I add 1 naira, it becomes 2. It becomes 3 and 4. That's not what investment is. Saving is putting the cash aside. Investing is actually putting it so that you earn something on top of it. And when you want to invest, you start by, first of all, appraising where you are. And to appraise, no, it's okay. It doesn't matter where you are. What is important is where you are. And then you look at where you want to be. And based on where you are, you would have to come up with a financial plan that tells you how you can get from where you are to where you want to be. So when you appraise yourself, you'll be looking at things like, first of all, there's a questionnaire, which helps you. So let's assume I don't even know I have money problems. There are questionnaires that you can fill out, that asks you questions about money and your relationship with money. And from your answers, a financial planner, a financial advisor can easily tell you if you have the wrong myths about money and try to correct you and tell you, so if you say, oh, the love of money is the root of evil, it's the lack of money that actually is the root of evil, because it's because people are trying to make money that they do those evil. And they don't know that there are things that they can do themselves. They don't know that it's possible. But when you have a financial advisor that you can talk to, they can give you as many examples as possible of how people have come from absolute nothing to become something great because they applied these principles. So you start by first appraising yourself. How do you appraise yourself? What do I own? What do I owe? Okay, in financial terms, it's called a balance sheet, which has the asset side and it has the liability side. So what do I own? What do I owe? So if all I own is clothes, shoes, and bags, do you understand? That doesn't help me much because I have assets that don't appreciate in value. They are assets, and most likely if I buy them 10 naira, if I buy this dress 10 naira, once I've worn it, it becomes secondhand. So it's probably going to go for so it depreciates. So if I find that when I appraise myself, all I have is things like this, then I know certainly that I probably will be in trouble because there's another side, which is the liability. What do I owe? Because as a human being living, you need things. You eat, you do your hair, you buy clothes, or you do whatever you have to do. You spoil your car, you buy your car, you take a loan for whatever purposes. If you look at your liabilities and you find that maybe your liabilities are 10, but your assets are 5, then that means you have the negative net worth. It's not a problem. It's just like telling you that, okay, the next step is, what are you going to do to try and cover the gap so that at least when you look at how you are in terms of appraising where you are, not on the asset side, you have more of assets that have the capacity to add to your pockets. Assets that you buy that from the day you buy it, it starts taking money out of your pockets. Like a car. Like a car that you are not using for transport business. Because if that car is being used as Uber, it's bringing in money. But you must make sure that the money that is bringing in as per Uber is more than whatever it costs you to maintain it, fuel it, and so on and so forth. So you appraise where you are. Based on where you are, if you are in debt, let's say 5 million. So your immediate objective, because when you have an objective, you don't have to set an objective for 100 years. You set an objective for the next 1 year. You set an objective for the next 2 years. You set an objective for the next 3 years. So you appraise where you are. Based on where you are, you then set an objective for yourself. And then you consult. You have to consult because sometimes you might not even know what to do. Based on your objective, maybe I need to earn that 5 million to cover the gap. You now start appraising what are the things that you could do. One of the things is, first of all, learn how to generate. So how do you generate money? Look at what skills you have. If you have skills, you're an excellent marketing staff. You could get a marketing job in places where maybe the cash flow is higher. That's just cash coming in. When you now get that job, for you to be able to ensure that you get out of that hole you are in, you have to make sure that you don't spend 100% of what you earn. So if you earn 100%, whatever it is, whether it's 1 naira, 100 naira, 100,000 naira, 200,000, even if it's not enough, because it's never enough. To be honest, because some people feel, which is another thing about mindset, people say, oh, it's not enough. If it's not up to 1 million, it's not enough. The thing is, it's not about it being enough, because if you look at what you spend your money on, you would always see where you can remove so that you can take out at least that minimum of 10%. So whether you are in debt or whether you want to grow wealth, the minimum really is you set an objective for yourself and you have to start setting aside at least 10 to 20% of whatever money you generate. It is that 10, 20% that you can now invest. So when you are investing, there are many things to consider. That's the next step, investing. You have to explore alternatives. Yes, very important. Okay, alternatives are like, when you want to invest, there are various things you can invest in. And more often than not, when there's a very high return on that investment, most times the risk is very high. So you look at yourself, how old am I? If I'm 70 and I'm thinking of investing, everything I want to invest in has to be something that is very secure. Because at 70, I'm immediately in need of use of whatever returns come from that money. But if I'm 30 and I want to invest, I'm not investing so that I will have it in 6 months' time, because I might live till 60. I might live till 70. I might live till 80.
Say we're listening, we're giving all this information, and the person's in there saying, okay, how and where do I put this money? What can I put this money in that I say, okay, fine, this is what's hot right now. This is what would make sense at this point in time.
Basically, when you're thinking investment, think about anything where you put the money and you get a return beyond what you've put in. So you put A, and then at the end of the day, you will get back A plus something. So what is hot? There are many things that are hot, but you've got to look at your age and your perspective. Cryptocurrencies are hot right now because people have made quite a lot of money from investing in cryptocurrencies. But the problem with cryptocurrencies is that they are not regulated. There's no central body. So, I mean, it's something that it's virtual, you know, and it can just get lost, or somebody can mine it and take it from you, or whatever the case is, and nothing will happen because it's not a legal tender. You know, there's no shirt to hold. There's no government or regulator to help you impose penalties. It's like a dark black market. So Nigeria has come up with its own version, which is the e-Naira. So I wouldn't invest in any cryptocurrency as an investment, but it's a hot investment because it gives good returns. Nigeria has brought the opportunity for people to be able to invest in virtual currencies, but the advantage is that it's regulated. So you are sure that it's backed by something. So if you're interested in cryptocurrencies, you can invest in any cryptocurrency, but you recognize the risk that you're taking. So I would advise, if you are going to invest, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify. And that means if you take your investment portfolio as 100, split it up. 20% in this, another 20% in that, until you know that you have hedged yourself. Because at the end of the day, if anything goes wrong with your cryptocurrency investment, then you can fall back, you know. But it all depends on your age, your risk appetite, whether you are a conservative investor, whether you are an aggressive investor, you know, whether you are very young. I mean, for the younger people, I would advise younger people to take more risks because they are young enough to have enough time to recover from whatever the effect is. So what are the other hot things that are relatively safe now? You have commercial papers. Commercial papers right now give some of the highest returns, because while the most secure returns right now come from treasury bills, and treasury bills are giving between 3% to as high as say 8-9%, depending on whether it's short-term, like a 91-day bill, or a 180-day bill, or a 1-year bill. But the commercial papers are doing in excess of 10%. Some of them are doing 12. Commercial papers are instruments issued by corporate bodies. But remember, investing is just about putting your money in something that delivers you a return. So you could invest in trading. So you buy something at 10 naira, you sell it at 12 naira, you make it 20%. Or you buy something at 10 naira, you sell it at 15 naira. But it comes with its own vagaries. You could also invest in foreign currency. In investing, you consider such things as well. Because in Nigeria, it's allowed for you to open dorm accounts, so you can like that put it in, even if it's not earning you any interest, just the fact that you've kept part of it in foreign currency. So you can actually have a foreign currency investment, which you can find in many asset management companies. They have little mutual funds that invest in foreign currency. You can invest in them and they will deliver you a return. So just keep at the back of your mind that investing is about putting your money somewhere that you get a return. Just to recap, so if you want to invest, I said the first step is to evaluate where you are, which is to look at what do you own, what do you owe. Then you set objectives for yourself. And your objective must include what you want to achieve. And in looking at what you want to achieve, you have to find a way of generating revenue, generating cash. And from that cash, set aside a percentage, which is savings, which is the third step. And from saving, you now start to invest. And in investing, when you want to invest, you consider alternatives. And at the end of the day, the alternatives you consider, what you choose will depend on your risk appetite. If you have appetite for high risk, then you take things that are high risk and they'll give you better return. But the best way is to have a balance of hedging yourself by splitting your portfolio, putting percentage in different things so that you hedge against, losses. And then on an ongoing basis, maybe every 6 months, every 1 year, you must appraise how those investments you're making are taking you to where you want to go in terms of your objectives. So that if they are not taking you there, you then rebalance that portfolio. You then reorder, sell something, put it in something else. That's basically the little secrets. And if you do this on a consistent basis, this is the secret to building, growing, sustaining wealth over the long term. You get to a stage where, like a tree, as I said in the beginning, it will start to give you your fruit in season.
What are, would you say, 5 tips that people, or 5 steps from realizing you have a negative money mindset or realizing there is a problem with your finances that is you can trace to your mindset to finally getting to the point where you can then go on to invest? So what are, let's say, the 5 stages that people can walk through? Stage 1, stage 2, to get to a good, healthy place where their mindset is stable and they can invest and generate income.
Just before I go to that, I'd like us to understand that money in itself is an effect. It's the fruits that she talked about. What we then do to make that money is our businesses, our career, the job that we have, and every other creative idea that we have out there or in us. Yes. And I say this because money in and of itself is an exchange of value. You exchange that creative idea, that value that you are and that you have to give to the world. You exchange it in return for money. And so it wouldn't be nice and it wouldn't be fair on you to see yourself and think that money doesn't flow to you. Money is hard to get. Where do I get the money to do the investments that she's talking about? The investments are out of my reach. Savings are out of my reach. Firstly, you'd have to understand that money flows through and to you from your own exchange to the world. Okay? And then the next thing is accept everything that has happened in the past, because we're all nurtured to our nature. Who we are is a function of our environment, is a function of our behavior, our capacity, our identity. And so we didn't just drop like this. And so how do we expect that our money, just like our career, just like our relationships, just like our social lives, how do we expect that it would just be perfect? And so we'll accept all that has gone wrong in the past. We assess our now, which is the present, and then we then make small practical steps to get to where she's talked about, which is the future. Another thing we should consider, another step we should consider is delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And that comes with financial discipline. And so for you to even understand and practice delayed gratification is thinking that we have financial lack. Because some people will be out there thinking, all she said, there's no money for that. How much do I earn? All of that.
Mentality.
Yes, and that's
when they have an abundance.
Yes, and that's it. It starts with being grateful for the gift that you are here on earth. You see, forgiving ourselves and then taking now those practical steps, which she said, is then heading towards the direction of a financial advisor.
Like she said, even if you have a negative mindset, my message to you is you can do it. You have to start. The best time to have planted a tree is 20 years ago, but the next best time is now. You can make a change. You can make a difference if you set your mind at it and you do the right thing. Thank you.
Those of you at home watching this on your screens, close your eyes, still your mind, and say to yourself, I am abundance. I am abundance. Money flows to me.
Money flows to me.
I am designed to be abundantly supplied.
I am designed to be abundantly supplied.
Thank you very much. I hope you got some amazing tips today. Thank you so much to our speakers. It has been amazing. You don't get this everywhere. So we have a lot more to show you. Try not to move. You can move a little bit because we have like a fitness expert in the house. Get your blood pumping and get your limbs loose.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial star 894 hash to get started.
You fast bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial star 894 hash to get started.
You fast bank.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894.
star 894 hash to get started.
You fast bank.
Wow, wow, wow. Now, that was the art of investing and fixing negative mindsets regarding money. A session brought to you by First Bank. Like, my mind is boom. I don't know how many of you felt it the same way I did, listening to everything that they were saying. See, the thing about money is very important. Forget all those people that tell you that money is the root of all evil. Money is not the root of evil. Money is the root of everything good in life. And it's very important that we learn how to maximize money the healthy way. The problem that we have is that people build negative relationships with money and find that they are dealing with depression. We've had people who have killed themselves because of money. So this session was really, really key, really, really important. Thank you, First Bank, for making it happen. And I want to believe that you must have picked one or two things that have made an impact in your life. There are two takeaways from you. Two takeaways. Now, Ogogo Osula says, money follows the laws of nature. Very true. Patience Karu says, your current attitude with money reflects your past experiences. Again, very, very true. So I want to believe that from now on, you begin to change your perspective and your mindset regarding money, and it will help boost your well-being. If you don't know you have money, you look finer, you are fresher, you are healthier. You can even afford all the things that you need to keep yourself intact. Am I lying? All right. So that is that about money. And I don't know if you noticed the location, that was used for the shooting. See how beautiful the location is? It was even competing with our beautiful speakers, That location is courtesy of Carib Health. Now, Carib Health is a foremost health and wellness clinic located right here in Lagos. So you try and pay them a visit. And this brings us to our next session. All right. And we're going to be talking with Dr. Ejewere, one of the chief medical doctors of Carib Health. Enjoy.
The food on my table, as much as possible, it comes from the original source, the earth. The earth. That's where food ought to come from. Today, we call all kinds of things food. We need to revise that. If it's not from the earth, don't call it food. Call it a food byproduct or something else. When you understand that this physical entity also came from that same source, that we're one in harmony with nature, with the source, with the earth, my goodness, God in His wisdom has already given us everything we need for its existence from the earth. The closer you are to Mother Nature, magic happens in your life. The further you are from Mother Nature, the further you stray away from Mother Nature, wahala dey. If you're already in a space that has tons of concrete and asphalt and interlocking tiles, you deliberately design areas where you remove the concrete or the asphalt or the interlocking tiles and bring in nature. If you're starting afresh, make sure you have a hand involved in the clearing of the land so that the contractors don't clear every single thing of nature. That they simply clear what is needed for the footprint of the house or the garage or whatever. That way you preserve a lot of nature. And you find that it keeps the compound cooler. You can plant and enjoy lots of vegetables and even fruits. Like out here, my gosh, if you taste the plantains we grow here, you won't go back to mile 12 to buy plantain. And yes, so we're in Lagos, we're in the middle of Lagos. The ugu, potatoes, ginger, turmeric, we grow them here. Spinach, a variety of spinach, even the one called hospital tufa, we grow them here and we use them. And our clients are very clear, the patients are very clear that what they get here, my goodness, they taste much better than what they get out in the marketplace. So yes, you can actually create your own natural urban garden to get these great things grown in a natural way. To appreciate this seemingly new concept of immunity, one must step back to the larger picture of wellness. And we define wellness here at Carib as a perspective on our health that gives reverence to the source of our being. What does that say? The source of our being is creation, it's God. And the Bible says we're created in His image and likeness, whole, perfect, and complete. In other words, this system also has means of keeping us healthy. It has regenerative systems, has protective systems, amongst which is the immune system. So let's just pause for a moment. Every day since man was probably created, we encounter microbes. And as science is saying today, this body contains more cells of microbes, viruses, bacteria, fungi, and other ones than we have human cells, by a ratio of 10 to 1. There's more of the microbes than we have human cells. So those microbes like viruses have been around for the longest time. We have systems that defend us against them. And guess what? Those systems include the viruses and the bacteria also. We use the term the microflora or microbiota. In other words, we've had immune systems for as long as man knows. Thus, every day when you go out into the world, even in your bedroom self, you encounter viruses, bacteria, fungi, and more. Your body decides, is this friend or is this foe? If it's friend, it actually incorporates it into your own microbiome. Some are actually carcinogenic. Many are hormonal disruptors. So we do many things to ourselves that undermine this great system that God has created, that is part of the larger body. Our immune system, we undermine it by our contemporary lifestyle. Hence, you find a lot of the COVID deaths occurred in those who have weakened immune systems. How do you know? Simple. If you have health problems like diabetes, obesity, heart disease, of course, if you have cancer, autoimmune diseases, you already have a weakened immune system. If you get malaria very often, you have a weakened immune system. If you have low levels of vitamin D, which means what? You don't go out into the sunlight, you hide from the sun, you have a weakened immune system. Those are the folks who tend to really be affected negatively by ailments, including COVID. So diabetes and high blood pressure is an indicator that the immune system needs some work. Let me repeat this one. Obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure implies your immune system is already compromised and needs to be restored. We are in agreement that we have these compromised immune systems. How do we prepare ourselves for the next onslaught, whether it's COVID variant or some other new entity? Remember, we began with wellness. The starting point is the perfection. We have drifted away from the perfection. We have strayed away from the perfection by our behavior, our mindset, our nutrition, and our lifestyle. So the first step is to get back on the right track. What are we doing that undermines us? And let's begin to undo them. In other words, let's take the brakes off our immune system. Look at what we're eating. Start with that. Look at your home environment, your lifestyle. Simple one is, are you getting enough nighttime sleep? That's when the body goes through its restoration. That's when the body restores, rebuilds, takes on old cells and rebuilds the new cells. If you're not getting enough nighttime rest, that restorative deep rest, who awakes the following day is weaker metabolically and it has aged compared to who went to bed the night before or awoke the morning before. So start by removing those things that have taken you off the right train track. Look at your nutrition. Look at your lifestyle. And even your mindset. A mindset of worry just causes your cortisol levels to be high, your stress hormones levels. And those do what to your immune system over time? They weaken your immune system. If your levels of cortisol, that stress hormone, is for a long while elevated. So what can we do? Take the brake pads off. Nutritionally, lifestyle, mindset. After you do that, then do things to augment the immune system. Laughter. Get some good laughter in, if possible daily. It could be real laughter to someone, or it could be just laughing by yourself. Get lots of sleep. At nighttime, please, don't play with your sleep. Preferably about 2 to 3 hours before midnight. That's when you start your sleep. your home environment, your bedroom, make it a digital-free zone. No radiation from any devices in your bedroom. Just simple things that you can do to help this immune system come back on track. Okay? And my favorite one of all, sunshine. Get some of that free source of energy. It's what creates everything around us. It's no mistake, we're part of nature. Get sunshine. All right, guys, we've talked a lot, we've learned a lot. Let's have some very clear pathways going forward. We want to optimize our immune system. Take the brake pads off. Look at your nutrition, remove things that are highly processed, number one being sugar. Get lots of water. Lifestyle, get that good quality nighttime rest. Have healthy interpersonal relationships. Don't carry grudges. Let go of unforgiveness. Let go of unforgiveness. It just weakens you. It weakens each and every one of us. Here at Carib Health, there's a lot we offer and a lot we do. We have the hospital called the Nutrition Hospital, deliberately, because many of us are nutritionally deplete or deficient or imbalanced. Other activities that you need to do, physical activities, fitness activities, the simplest of which is just breathing. So, breathing exercises we have here, the African dance we do here at Carib Health. Of course, we have the natural products, the juices. We have healthy meals available. We train your chefs to also into cooking healthy meals. All of this is tied into bringing us back to wellness. You hear me say this over and over. Wellness is our starting point. It's our gift from our Father in heaven. And each time we stray away, let's ask ourselves, what have we done to undo that gift? And there's 5 areas you can always look at. The 5 pillars of wellness. Number 1, spirituality. Number 2, mindset. Number 3, nutrition. Nutrition. Number 4, your lifestyle. And number 5, your environment. Both the indoor environment and the outdoor environment. This is Dr. Patrick Ijewere. I'm sure you've learned a lot today. You can reach us on several platforms, Carib Health, NG, IG, Facebook. Of course, we're on the radio every Sunday. We have our blog, we have our podcast, and we're physically here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I am the Wellness Doctor.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You do not need to dey suffer to send money, oh. Carry for make you down the number 894. Make you know the wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 and for you. 894 for there's a number that could change the whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number. 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial star 894 hash to get started.
You fast back.
Patrick Ijewere, thank you so much for reminding us once again of what it is that's truly important. Now, there were some things that he said that made me think COVID-19 again. You know, a lot of people think COVID-19 came with so many, disruptions and everything. But let's look at the good side. COVID-19 made us sit up and made us realize that there are certain things that we've been taking for granted that we really shouldn't. Some of the things Dr. Ijewere highlighted, like our lifestyle, all right? Like our immunity, our ability to laugh, our environment, all those little things tie into making you, making your wellness holistic and more or less perfect. So let's try and focus on those things and work on it and be more intentional with what it is that we do. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Patrick Ijewere. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm tired. I'm tired of sitting down. I need to get my juices pumping. I need to get my heart moving. You know what I'm saying? After all, this is a wellness experience. This is a wellness program. It's all about getting our fitness in. And then we have in the house the perfect person to do that. Not just fitness, but fitness with swag. Me, I'm getting ready. I've worn my dancing shoes already. So we have in the house Kaffy. Kaffy is going to take us through some routines, how we can get our groove on while we are getting fit. And I think it's very, very important. And this time is the perfect time to get that done. Me, I'm already in the mood. I'm getting ready. Go and get your dancing shoes and let's come on.
Fitness was as important as being human. Let me put it that way. We lose our humanity when we allow a lot of external factors create a judgment or a scale at which we measure ourselves. And with dance fitness, I was able to remove the scale from a lot of people's eyes. I think naturally I'm a coach. I think from a baby, I probably coached my mother to breastfeed. I don't know. It's an innate thing for me to want to see human excellence all the time. And I tried it on myself and I saw it work and I want to replicate that. And I put that from fitness into dance, into being coach. And right now I took a lot of courses. I've been on Larry Lushola. I took the EMT course. I took the emotional intelligence course because I really want to see humanity thrive better. It didn't happen by accident. It was conscious awareness that led there. You go down and under before you come up to appreciate the air you breathe. So down and under is, I got body shamed, as a young teenager. I had people always laughing at my tummy or laughing at my body. Do you understand? There was a time that I went to the salon with one of my cousin's fiance at that time. And she was like, na belle be this, I've been a pregnancy. Those kind of thing. So it got to me, and at the end of the day, I stopped seeking external validation and I started appreciating what my body could do. Because this body could dance for 3 days and win a Guinness World Record. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there were a lot of things that I could do that people saw and admired. Sometimes you don't get to admire yourself. You're waiting for people to say, you're this to me, you're that to me. And I realized that I'm actually valuable. So it did its number on me. But when I got out of it, I wanted to replicate that for every woman. That's why I went into the fitness business. And that's what is key. When I think dance is one of the most beautiful form of exercise, body, mind, and soul. It's a wholesome, holistic approach to wellness and well-being. I choose it because it's the only one I know that you can go to and never come out with a negative energy. No matter your mood, dance is gonna fix you. And today, we're about to get some people dancing with me. Let's go, let's go, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. Okay, I want you to step. Hey, inside the group. You can see they're already smiling. That's what dance does. You cannot be dancing and be angry. Hey. Exercise 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. And let the hand go backwards. Hey, thank you. And
I like that. Now you're putting a groove into that. Come on. Good. Now we're going to stay on the right leg and go 1. Hey. 2. Hang it. Hey. Hey. It's good. It's good. It's good. It helps your balance. Now forward now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's so. Jennifer, you're doing it. Hey. Then put your hand down. Hey, and I love that. I love that. You guys, you are coordinating properly. Just go like this. Hey, come on. Let's brush it out. Brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. Brush, brush, brush. Brush. Let's roll it in.
Hey, I like this one.
And put. Go again. 2 more. 1 more. Now pull it. Hey. Hey.
Jennifer is getting it.
Go to the shoulder. Use the shoulder. Use the shoulder. Use the shoulder. Hey. Let me see hand. Wave it, come on. Give me the beauty queen. The beauty queen wave. Hey. Hey, come on. Are you not beautiful? Come on. Wave to them. Wave to them. Bring it up. Jump it. Push. Pass. Take it back. Hey. Welcome, Mama. That's so good. One of the most important things is you are already crossing off a lot of the elements of physical fitness. Your agility is good because you respond. Your motor skills, your motor response for movement is very, very sharp. Those are the qualities you look out for. Stop looking at it from the sculpture of who you are, but look at the, not just flexibility, the body is responding to you.
You can move it.
If you tell the body, run now, it ran. Bend now, it bent. Sleep now, it slept. Do you go and say, eat now, it ate. There are some people that they don't have that. They say, run now, they're like, I can't, I need a stretcher. I need a wheelchair. Oh yeah, sleep now, I can't sleep. I'm in pain.
Can dance work for depression? I just wonder.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I do dance therapy. Dance works for cognitive reasoning skills, to improve your cognitive reasoning. We can use it for Alzheimer's patient. We can use it for autism. You understand? We use it for depression. We use it for anxiety, fear, stress, law and thoughts of limiting beliefs. Why? Because, see, let me tell you something. Before the human mind could speak, it moved. Movement is communication. The reason why we depress sometimes is that we feel people are not hearing us. But when you express, when you're able to let out the energy of expression, you now find peace.
People, let's dance.
Let's do this.
We have to do this.
You have to dance more.
You know, so
are you
what
ready
do you recommend? How much dancing should we do?
I'll say a healthy dose, a minimum of 30 minutes a day will keep the 30 minutes a day is a fantastic cardio. Let me tell you, this is scientifically proven that the body needs at least 30 minutes of cardio 5 times a week. For at least that is the recommended. So that means you can go 45 minutes, you can go 1 hour. You don't need to do 2-3 hours in the gym before you hit the mark of recommended dose. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm an athlete. I can do 2 hours, 3 hours. And let me tell you what your exercise must always contain. It must contain your exercise. Let's say you have 1 hour in the morning to work out. At least spend 15 to 20 minutes on cardio. Spend another 15 to 20 minutes on strength. The older you are, the more weight you need to carry because you're going to be losing muscle mass and its form and strength. So as mommy is now, you should be buying all those straps. Don't be afraid of weight. You need weights now for long life. You understand? The more weight you carry, you are actually expanding your longevity for the human bio form
is improved just by the fact that we have weight. That's why we have to walk. When you walk, you're walking against gravity, you're carrying your weight. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what did I say? You have cardio?
Cardio.
Good. You have strength?
Strength.
Good. Then you need to do stretch?
Stretch.
Good. You need to do mobility.
Mobility.
Mobility is, for instance, yoga is beautiful for your mobility. Okay. It's not about me. No. When you go intentional movement, because there are certain elements and movement in the body that needs to complete its range of motion. And you cannot get that except you work it. So for instance, if you stand all day, there are muscles that are activated for standing. Yes. But there are also some muscles that are relaxing because one is activated. See, that one that is relaxing is getting weaker because it's not working. Then tomorrow you now want to do like this, and I say, Well, you were all standing, your hamstring wasn't put to work. So why? What do you expect? So you need to challenge your mobility.
So
you need to
cardio
challenge.
Would be anything that makes you jump.
Jump that will pump your heart.
Then,
yes. Strength.
Is
resistance. Anything that has resistance. Weight, resistant cords, anything that can do that. Stretch and mobility, the walk, yoga works for that. Okay. Swimming can also help there as well because it does a lot of repair and physiotherapy. Swimming on its own is a physiotherapist on its own. So it does three things. It gives you aerobic, which is cardio. It helps strengthen your muscles and joints, and it also helps your mobility. Yes, I do. I'm a teacher. I teach swimming as well.
What don't you do? Rounder. What don't you do?
I live as a human being. As a human being, don't be afraid to live. Don't say, this one is not for me to be doing. As long as you're a human being, you can do it. Just try it. Challenge yourself. Yeah, so that's it. That's me. My name is Dr. Kaffy, and I am an advocate for human excellence. I'm a wellness, fitness, and dance coach, and also a performer. Don't forget, they say health is wealth. Protect it, save it, invest in it, and enjoy it.
The good life is whatever you want it to be. Choose Verve for the good life.
Ooh, did you catch me hot stepping there? Did you catch me? Kaffy got me to do something on air. Thank you so much, Kaffy. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful session. We really worked ourselves out and we sweated a lot, But the thing I need to tell you is just to, work on what Kaffy said. You don't have to be an expert dancer, all right, to move your body. It's very important you move your body. Like almost every hour, if it's possible, do that. It's been advised that you take at least 30 minutes walk, every day. It does a lot in helping you, especially as you're getting older. You understand? You need your joints to continue to be flexible. You need to be able to stretch your muscles without pain. You need to be able to bend without any form of discomfort. And you can get that done. You can get there. You can get there. Just start from today. All right? She gave some practical tips how you can go about that. But also do the same thing. Don't wait until you buy your gym clothes or you register in a gym. In your house, in the comfort of your home, you can walk up and down the staircase. You can put on your favorite music and just move your body. Again, as I said, you don't have to be a perfect dancer. Just move. Get the juices pumping, all right? And be the best self that you can be. All right, then. So that's that for that. Verve, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You live up to your name of ensuring that people enjoy the fit life. Thank you for supporting and sponsoring this session. Now, moving on. We're going to have a discussion, a more casual and relaxed discussion where we're looking at health through the ages. I think it's something that you need to sit for. Don't miss it. It's very, very important. And remember, this is still a virtual event. try and follow the conversations online. Use the hashtags TWO22, TWOasis 2022, and just get the word out there. Let people learn. And remember, even after today is done, you can always come back on YouTube, all right, and catch up on the things that you probably must have missed up on. All right, then, so let's move straight to the next session, Health Through the Ages. See you. So we're ready for another beautiful conversation. We're going to be talking about health through the ages. My name is Chris, and I'm so excited to be talking with three unique women, who have very diverse backgrounds and who are going to be sharing their rich experiences. And then we see how we can pull each information and basically give us a sense of what it is that we want to talk about today. So I have Adesua Oyenokwe. She's the publisher, Today's Woman magazine. And we have Cherise and Dorothy. So we're talking health through the ages, and I find it very interesting because for a lot of people, when you talk about health and you talk about wellness, you look at, okay, it's probably those who have issues, those are the ones that really need to talk about it. But we're saying through the ages. Now I want to ask each of us here, what does that mean? What does that say to you, health, wellness through the ages? Let me start with you, AO.
Well, the whole essence of what TW tried to do when we organize these wellness activities is to get people to understand that health is a lifelong activity. Some of us are lucky. Personally, my personal experience is the one that I remember is now I look back, I know that when I was 17, I told myself I was going to wear the same pair of jeans at age 40. So in my teens, then it was just about looking good, being able to wear those pair of jeans that fit. So I did what I could. I was naturally skinny, so I guess I didn't have to do much work. In my 20s, it was now baby making. But even when I was baby making in my early years, I realized now on hindsight, my job as a journalist meant I was always on the road. I was moving and I loved my job. So I was always in motion. I'm a very laid back, lazy person when it comes. I don't want to work too hard. So I said, look, I don't want to get fat. So I will have to struggle to come back because I still want to wear that pair of jeans at 40. And clearly at 40, I really wasn't much bigger than I was. I was just better looking. Because by then, but because I had inculcated some habits that were good, right? I think I was about 35 when I discovered water, drinking water first thing in the morning. You know how you see some of this literature that tells you do X, Y, Z, and you will take care of X, Y, Z. Then it was drink 1.5 liters of water every morning, warm water, put lime, and it will cure this, cure this, cure this. I did it. I'm an info junkie when it comes to staying healthy because I wanted to wear the same pair of jeans at 40. You know what I mean? So I was very conscious of that. When I got to 40, it was more difficult to shift. Late 40s was more difficult. And then, of course, I met people and I realized that even though I already had this wellness mentality, it was something I had to carry through the times. So with it, by 40, it wasn't just enough to exercise, right? I needed to change the way I related to food. So that's just what it is. And then by 50, it was now more my mindset because I realized that by that time, maybe mid-40s to 50 for some people, you get to a particular stage, I'm like, oh, I haven't achieved anything. I am this, I am that, even if you've achieved a lot. So it's at that stage I realized that mindset is so critical. Even though I had lived a life that was fine, I thought, I saw mindset was so critical. So the different stages, I have grown with those stages. But the key for all that growth is seeking the knowledge that can help me be better. So that's my own take.
I grew up in the Caribbean, and my grandmother was a bit obese, and so was my mom. And so from a young age, I realized that, you know what, number one, I don't want to have big, sagging breasts. So
this was always a motivation.
Yes. And yeah, glory to God, I have, just that right size that I need. And then I went on to the US, I studied nursing. And then I met my husband in the emergency room. And then I left the emergency room and worked with him in his own clinic That's after we got married.
In the US.
In the US. And so on working with these patients, we realized that many of their ailments were tied to lifestyle diseases. And so I went back to school, became a nutritionist, started having children, and even with having our children, this is now in my 20s, even with having children, we started to just build that lifestyle for the children. So as you say with the water, our thing in the morning was the 3 W's. We had a chart. First thing is water, and wash your face. Of course, over the years, I've become closer to health. Now wellness is like a breath of fresh air for me. So I'm more intentional. My teachings with my patients are to be more intentional and meet them where they are in their journey.
Wow. For a long time, I didn't even know anything about health, wellness. I didn't care. It wasn't something that I sat and I thought about, like, okay, health. The only thing I knew was that my home were like pretty much skinny. So I felt that was a sign of good health. And I felt we could get away with anything. You could do anything, get away with anything, and then you're just good to go, right? So, until I got to a point where my body decided to go like, okay, you know what? You've abused me long enough. All right. And then shut down. And then I had this situation where I lost my memory, and, the whole thing came with a whole gamut of emotions, and all that. But once I regained my memory, I decided, there's something about doing a memory walk, So I did that, and I realized that, hey, it was the choices I was making, right? And I decided to immerse myself further in studying this whole thing. And I became more attracted and intrigued by what wellness really was. And I said, we've been doing this thing the wrong way all this while. All this while, our approach to health and wellness was mostly diagnostic. Wait until you are sick before you deal with it. And even when you are sick, wait until you are very, 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 very sick, So this time I realized that you don't have to wait till you're sick. It's the things, the choices, the little choices you make, how you sleep, when you wake up, the things you eat, the kind of people you have around you. Those are the things that really matter. And
so, I'm sorry, I'm just going to butt in here. You went on and something happened. I said we went back in time.
Yes.
So where were those things? Because you were skinny, you were everything, and then you lost your memory.
Yes, I lost my memory. So
what was the key factor there?
For me, it was stress. It was stress. I put myself too much under stress. I didn't know when to quit. I didn't know when to pause. I didn't have a pause button. So I was like an energizer bunny. I even took pride in it. That I can do anything, anytime.
Multitasking.
Exactly. I work well under pressure. Just give it to me. I never say no. So anything I can do, So until, again, as I said, my body said, hey, you've abused me long enough. And I realized that so many people are doing the same thing to themselves under the illusion that they are healthy because they are skinny. You talked about you were on the big side, right? And you knew because you're on the big side, you needed help. I was not on the big side. So I didn't know I needed help. So I assumed, okay, I'm fine. I'm good to go. But with age came the realization that, hey, it's not just about what you look like on the outside. It's about what's going on the inside. So that's how wellness has metamorphosed for me, through the years. Really.
So I think it's important which maybe you want to share with us because you're the professional here.
Yes.
She's a stress. Today you are a stress master.
Yes, I am.
Right. So you are speaking from a place of experience.
Yes.
You also speak and you train. I just wonder, for the benefit of those who are watching, what are the stages when you are a teenager, when you are in your 20s, when you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and all of that? What are the things you should be looking at?
Well, things happen to people at different stages of their life. You go through different stages and phases of your life. And so when you're a teenager, you're just thinking about finishing school, eat all you want, you're in your parents' place, and then you get to your 20s. In your 20s, you're taking on all these different tasks, activities, work, and so forth. And so you're not really always in tune with your health unless you have a problem going on. Now, by the time you get to your 30s, maybe that's when you get married. And when you get married, you also take on a couple extra pounds as well, as we know. And so it's such a, let me say, a difference by the time you are married, you start having children, the wife puts on extra pounds, she's carrying for 2 now, and then you lose yourself. So as a mom of 4 children, at some point I lost myself within that journey. I was doing for everybody else, not for myself. Even if there was a picture to be hung or something to be painted, I would do it myself. Not wait for the husband anymore. And of course, your husband is, doing his own thing and he's being fit, but you're also taking care of your children. You're eating their leftovers. It's these little things that cause the weight gain.
That's in the 30s.
That's in the 30s. And then you get to your 40s. And keep in mind that as you get older and wiser, your weight starts to shift. So the weight, whether it's from the belly area or from the boob area, starts to get a bit saggy or go southwards, especially if you're not exercising. So exercising from a young age, keeping that habits up is important. By the time you get to your 50s, you go into menopause, hormones change, and then you realize, oh my gosh, I'm 10 kgs overweight. How am I going to shift this? We recently had a client who is 52 years old, and she had to go through a hysterectomy. She was already having hormonal
What's
issues.
a hysterectomy?
Where you
womb extraction.
Uterus, you take out the whole womb. So she was borderline diabetic. She was high cholesterol. Her doctors kept on pointing everything to her weight. And then they realized, oh, you have endometriosis. So you need to just take the womb out. It's causing you too much problems. And so all these years, the doctors have been saying, just lose weight. And she's like, oh, okay. 20 years later, no weight loss. She's just been gaining. Then the hysterectomy happened, and then she gained more. And then she joined our Carib Wellness Challenge just in May. And from May to January, she actually lost 20 kg.
Wow.
She can't even believe it
That's
herself.
what, 6 months.
What was the change? What was the change?
Change was the timing of the food, her mindset. So she was now a part of a community that every day you are accountable for.
Yeah, we do that all the time. To the TW, we also support Carib Health and the TW Wellness Challenge.
Yes, and on this community,
she was on that community too for us.
She was, yes. And so just her timing of food, the portion, she was more intentional in what she ate. When she went out as well, because of course she went to party, she would eat before she goes to the party. So just being more intentional about her lifestyle and then having fun with her exercise.
That's it, yeah.
So I'm just wondering, I mean, for you who you've always been the biggest, how do your family respond to it? Because I don't know, how do your family respond to that?
Actually, my brother keeps talking about, if I wear shirt, I want to go out. See how you're big. So they do want it. My mom doesn't like fat, actually. So they were not happy about it that I was fat and I was eating too much. So sometimes if I'm eating, my stuff like, eat small.
So you have lost 13 kg. Are you still planning to lose more?
Yeah.
But what's their response to your new weight?
Everybody's happy. They keep posting my picture.
Wow.
I like your new look. So the last time I traveled to the village, my mom was happy. Saying, hey, you start to look some more. So then my neighbor didn't allow me to rest because she'd be like, you're not married. Look at your sister who has 2 children. You're not married and you're like this. Well, I pity you. So she keeps saying that to me. When I got to everything changed.
Everything changed.
I started learning new habits.
Okay, it's about habits. So I'm just wondering, because you got quite a number of people and you relate it to stress. So I'm wondering though, if in some ways, is it that our younger people, I don't know, I see more young people who are bigger than, in those days, people who are in their 20s, you won't find somebody who will be 19, they're all so skinny. But now it looks like people just put on weight, and is weight a function? I mean, how does weight affect health?
Well, I'm quite excited that you brought that aspect up, right? Because if you look at it, it's a culture change that we are experiencing, and it has a lot to do with the technological improvements and everything. During our own time, we had more skinny children because there were no 24 hours television. They were running around the house. Security was not as bad as it is today. So parents were happy allowing their kids to roam the streets, ride the bicycle, do whatever the case,
what they needed to do. So they were more healthy, they were more active. But now children are more sedentary and they are now imbibing more of the Western culture, you know, sitting in the house, you know, not really interacting with people, with neighbors, because everybody is scared of everybody, you know, and then you have your mobile phones, your iPads and everything in front of you. So everybody is just there doing this. So that has contributed to the increasing weight gain that children are experiencing now. Now, how does that relate with the quality of health? All right. I always tell people that, yeah, I don't use your weight to judge how healthy you are. What I try to do is try to understand why you're eating and why you're gaining weight. Because I tell you, we all can't look the same at all. Some people are meant to be a certain size. But what I tell people is try to be the healthy version of you. So if you're meant to be a size 16, you can be a healthy size 16. Again, I said I was talking about myself where I was very skinny and I thought I was healthy, but there was a lot of rioting things going on inside me, right? And I didn't know. So to all intents and purposes, I was healthy. And that's the same kind of illusion that people carry. So they judge people based on what they are seeing. And, you know, untimely, people have died because of that same kind of mindset. So they don't treat themselves the way they ought to. Because their own focus is, okay, is the food you're eating. Is the food you're eating. But you're not asking, why are you eating? You know? So once I decided to start asking why, you realize that weight gain is actually a response to stress. Belly fat is a response to stress. So, but you are not targeting the belly fat. You're not targeting the weight gain. You are targeting the reason for the eating. By the time you now dig deep, you find that a lot of people, usually, maybe their lifestyle is so poor, they don't eat or sleep when they ought to. So when they do eat, you know, they are eating under pressure and they are eating the wrong things. When your body is under stress, you find that you're producing more cortisol. Cortisol gives you that appetite. So you need to eat, but you're not hungering for healthy foods. You know, cortisol doesn't make you hunger for fruits or vegetables. It makes you hunger for alcohol, sugar, things that give you fast energy, because cortisol is a response to whatever challenge you're facing. So you need that immediate burst of energy. So you need the high dense caloric foods to give you that. So that is what you find that you need to eat, you're craving for, you know. So when I ask people, but why do you think that you like to eat all these things? Have you asked yourself why? I was addicted to soda for a long time.
Fizzy drinks.
Yes, I was addicted. I was addicted to sweet things because those things gave me the high I needed to keep up my momentum. You know, the momentum of, hey, I can do anything. I can work well under pressure. But I didn't know I was hurting or harming myself. And that's what a lot of people are doing. So when you look at stress, when you see children who are eating and children who are on the big side, they are actually responding to stress. The stress of no movement. The stress of being overprotected, you know. So your body response is normal. Just like Kaffy was here and she was talking about you have different muscles for different activities. So when you're using one particular muscle for too long, the other ones are relaxed. So by the time you need them, they are either not there for you anymore, or you have to really work extra hard to get them moving. So that is where we are.
I would say it's important that you are intentional in what you're eating. Try and avoid the processed foods. Try and eat more home-cooked foods as much as possible. Because if you're eating outside at the restaurants all the time, then it does show on your body itself. We're now eating for immunity. We're eating for gut health. By the time you're in your 20s, yes, it's important that you are checking your blood sugar, going to the doctor occasionally, unless they tell you that you must come every year. And what we're also now seeing is even teenagers with diabetes. So we have those who are obese, those who are underweight, that their blood sugar is quite high, and truly it's all from what they're eating. By the time you're in your 30s and 40s, the body changes. It doesn't need so much food. So eating 3 times a day is not mandatory. You can eat 2 times a day. You can do your intermittent fasting. Just ensure that you're drinking 3 liters of water.
I like that.
You like that? Right?
No, the 3 times a day thing is just a conditioning.
You don't have to eat 3 times.
No, it's a conditioning.
And then another thing is you don't have to, by the time you're in your 40s, you're not to eat like you're a baby going to your bed. I have clients who will eat pap and have moi moi and have meat and all sorts to go to bed because they want to feel so full. But that's not necessary. Of course, that means that the digestive system is not functioning.
And giving them more work to do.
Right, when you should be sleeping. So by the time you get to your 40s and 50s, cut back on the food, exercise, do your deep breathing, do your relaxation, your massage therapy. Just be more intentional.
Yeah, so the first one about living intentionally. So what is it that you've taken out of your life, for example?
Bread.
Oh, wheat or any bread. Was it tough?
It was tough.
She said she loved food, so yeah, it would have been tough.
And every day I keep seeing this bread around there, but I still don't eat it.
So what's that relationship? And one is you see bread and say no, or you see bread and say let me just taste small, or it doesn't even do you anything anymore.
I don't. Even mineral. Before I don't even eat anything without mineral. I don't eat any. If I want to eat.
What's your final words?
Health is by choice.
I like that. That's one of your bylines I carry here. Health is by choice. Health is intentional, and it's about what you know. Well, not even beyond what you know. It's what you do with what you know, whatever your age. What is your final word?
So my final word is choose a healthy lifestyle and live long.
My own is live well, die better. I always say that because I feel that, we've been talking about being deliberate, we've been talking about being intentional. Holistic living is all about that. And we are not waiting for sickness to happen before we treat it. We want to live well by the choices that we make so that when we die better. I hope that makes sense.
So it doesn't matter how old you are.
Yes.
20, 10, 15, 14.
Don't die because of...
Don't die because of bad health.
Exactly.
Die because it's your time.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Can you play this one?
The good life is whatever you want it to be. Choose Verve for the good life.
From the illustrious ladies of Alpha Alpha Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is the first historically Black sorority founded for Black women at Howard University in 1908.
In June of 2021, the long-anticipated Alpha Alpha Omega Omega chapter was founded right here in Lagos, Nigeria.
We are extremely excited to partner with TW Magazine, who are creating this multi-day event, which will stream online as well as a live gathering.
This spectacular event will focus on topics regarding women's health, such as fitness, money, nutrition, relationships, beauty, and many more.
Healthy women will ensure a healthy family, a healthy community, and healthy nations. Get ready for a fun-filled informational event. Welcome to TW Oasis.
Can you play this one?
The good life is whatever you want it to be. Choose Verve for the good life.
Now, did you enjoy that conversation? What I loved about it was the naturalness of it, the serene environment and how relaxed we were. I love the fact that we're even sitting on the floor, on the bare ground, connecting with nature. That is what wellness is all about, isn't it? As in, it's part of what wellness is all about, connecting with nature, connecting with your environment. And that's what we did. We're talking about health through the ages. How health and wellness perspectives shift and change as you go through different stages of your life. And I wonder how it has been for you. If you've had any challenges with your health, if you've had any challenges just going through the stages and coming out tops. I'm sure by watching this, you've found a list of people, experts, professionals that you can reach out to and talk to. We are concerned about you. We are concerned about your wellness. And we want to make sure that you're making the right choices for yourself. All right. Now, that being said, again, we're going to the next session. Now, we started after the yoga session, we started with our first beauty session, which was the me therapy. Now we're having the second aspect of our beauty session, and this is cosmetic enhancements. Now, this is very important. We are living in an age where everybody is concerned about their aesthetics and they're doing everything possible to ensure they look a certain way. So we're having an expert coming to talk to us about the right way to go about it. There's nothing wrong with improving how you look, but do it the right way and for the right reasons. So watch and enjoy.
Hi guys, I'm glad you're still with us here at TW Oasis 2022. Hopefully you're learning a lot and really getting your friends and family on board while we take on our wellness event for 2022. So now we are on the beauty session, and today we're going to be speaking with Dr. B. Dr. B is the MD at Brick Aesthetics. She is an aesthetic dermatologist, and she's going to be walking us through what you should know when it comes to aesthetic dermatology, rhinoplasty, having your chin slimmed, and all that good stuff. We're going to be speaking to her on all these topics and finding out yes, no, maybe, should you go and consider, should you be considering aesthetic dermatology? And if yes, what do you need to know? So Dr. B is going to be joining us now. Don't go anywhere. If this is something you think your friends and family would want to enjoy, make sure that they are logged on as well. Share the link with them. All right, let's invite Dr. B in.
My name is Dr. B. I'm an aesthetic physician. I am the medical director of Breach Aesthetics. It's a cosmetic clinic here in the heart of Lagos, Ikoyi. And we basically offer cosmetic treatments to women and men of all age range, starting from 18 years old, obviously, and above. And what we usually do is, enhancements, not giving the natural look. And sometimes we can even go beyond the natural look, maybe depending on the profile of the individual, we can optimally enhance you more to help people restore their confidence. And this is quite new in Nigeria, though we've been having a lot of people who have done this abroad, maybe in the UK, in the US, and Asia,
Right.
But we're trying to set a standard here in Nigeria. There are a lot of clinics that offer some of these procedures, but what we do more is a holistic approach. So we tend to have patients who come for one thing, but they end up doing a lot more because they've realized that just trying to enhance one part of their face or their body will not give them the exact look that they're looking for. So we tend to go more holistic. We tend to go from the facial feature to the body features to even inside, treating some of these problems from insides to supplementation, vitamin infusion. Basically, this is what I do in Lagos, and we cater to a lot of people in Nigeria. Also in West Africa, we have a lot of clients coming from Ghana, Cameroon, Sierra Leone. So these individuals, they come and they want to do something different. They want to look somehow different, and we tend to give it to them, but all naturally, still trying to have a more natural effect. Though we know we're changing your face, but you're still looking as natural as possible. That's what we do here.
What should people know when it comes to your procedure, when it comes to signing on with you? I mean, there are a lot of misconceptions, a lot of fear. I know that I'm definitely scared when it comes to like injections generally. Like me and the hospital are not even friends whatsoever. So when it comes to having something go into my face, I'm always very worried. So what are the things you would say people should know when it comes to
aesthetic dermatology or aesthetic, physics or whatever the case may be?
Okay. First of all, it's weird getting injections on your butt. Then it's further weird when you realize that these injections have to get into your face, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, how am I going to take that injection? But these needles, they were created basically for the face, and they're quite different from the ones that are used on the butt. On the butt, we're having things like 18 to 21 gauge needles that are placed because the butt muscle, the gluteus maximus, is a very large muscle. So you need a very big needle to go in there. But the ones on the face, we're talking about 25 gauge, 31 to all the way to 32 gauge needles. These are very tiny needles. You can even barely feel them. They're about 4 millimeters long to about 8 millimeters. So they're very small and you can barely feel them. Most of the time, if I was to get an injection on my face, I wouldn't even get numbed. Like I wouldn't even have any anesthesia put on there because they're so tiny, you can barely feel it. But people have fear for needle. So I would always say that they should watch a lot of YouTube videos, or they can check my page on Instagram. We have a lot of videos that we're showing people, and these videos, you can see how calm the patients are. First, education is very important. You have to know what procedure you want to do. Now, if you're coming in for a particular procedure, we'll first of all do a general assessment of you, take some medical history, and then we'll find out the reason. I'm more particular about the reason why you want to do this. Now, for some people, peer pressure has been one of their major reasons. They want to look like somebody else. They want to look like this person that they're seeing on Instagram. And then I have to counsel them. At times, I even have to debunk it and say, no, we cannot do this for you because it doesn't suit your profile. It doesn't suit your personality. It doesn't suit your facial structure. So if I do it for you this way that you want to look, you're going to come out looking different. You're going to come out looking like unhuman. You're not going to look natural. And then I have to explain to them that for me to be able to get this result for you, I would have to start from another maybe part of your face and work it all the way down. Sometimes some people come here, especially those coming from other parts and other countries. They're like, oh, Dr. B, I just have 3 days to be in Nigeria. I want you to change my entire face. And I'm like, I can't do that. I cannot change your face in just one day. It's something that has to go through a process. And I have to explain to them further along the way that we have to see you in several sessions to be able to get this particular result. And sometimes some of the results they're trying to achieve are unrealistic results. So yes, we have to counsel the patient. Sometimes I send people back. I'm like, I can't treat you. I'm not going to treat you because it's just not going to look right. For your profile, you can imagine someone who is a teacher, maybe teaching kindergarten or primary school, and she wants to look like a diva. It's not going to work with that kind of profile because the children, the teachers, the parents, they're going to look at you in a very weird way. They're going to look at you like you're abnormal. Like, why should this person be teaching my child? So that's profile. So we always assess the profile, the kind of jobs these people are doing, and try to set them realistic goals that will fit them. Now, it's different if you are a stripper and you're dancing on poles. That's different. Obviously, you want something that people will actually look at you and say, okay, I want to know who that person is, or it looks really nice in nightlife business. That's different, you see? So you can't use the two to judge. Everyone is different. And I always say, please have realistic goals, and nothing can be achieved in 24 hours. Also, there's a lot of swelling and bruising that comes with these procedures. I'm talking about like really bad swellings. Your face can be looking distorted for 2 to 4 weeks, and you really need time to heal. There's no magic that we say, oh, recovery time. I watch a lot of Instagram videos and YouTube, and people show recovery time is 24 hours. Some of these procedures is not 24 hours, trust me. And with the way our skin is, and we are in Africa, you need time. You need to stay away from the sun. You need to stay away from heat. You need to stay away from the outside environment. You just need to rest. Nigeria, on its own, is a very stressful country, and totally telling you that. And so therefore, when you're doing these procedures, you need time to take care of yourself and pamper yourself so that the results can come out exactly the way it's supposed to.
Okay. I mean, I'm really glad that you mentioned, actually counseling patients and speaking to them and ensuring that they know exactly what they're getting on board with. And even the fact that they might say, okay, I just want to have my chin, my chin kind of slimmed. And then letting them know, oh, can't just start from here. I have to start from somewhere else so you have a natural finish. You mentioned you work with a lot of people that's limelight entertainment, industry or angle. Obviously, you have patients, doctor confidentiality. But do you see that it is more rampant with like the everyday girl, or you see that it applies more to people who are in front of the camera or who have like a profession that requires their body or their physique to look a certain way?
Honestly, I've been getting this question a lot, like, who are more of your patients? Some people call me the celebrity doctor, and I only smile because I said only 5% of Nigerian celebrities are just into this. We don't still have that many celebrities that understand the importance of this for their business. And I tend to look at a lot of these celebrities, and they use a lot of filters and a lot of makeup to hide their feature. And sometimes their skin is so poor, it's so unhealthy, and they just hide under the makeup and the filters for on the phones, just so that they can look beautiful. But the people who really are doing this, you'll be surprised at they're not the like loud people in Lagos or in Nigeria. They're very quiet people who appreciate the fact that they don't need that much makeup to have a contoured face, or they don't want to look fake. They want people to see them and say, oh my God, you look so beautiful in person than on picture. Because we are so used to people saying, oh my God, I love the way you look on picture. You don't really look like that in person, but oh my God, I love your picture. That's what people are used to. But you see, the women that we cater to, these women are more real. And funny enough, they're the people that they don't wear makeup. Most of my clients do not wear makeup. And you'll be surprised. They don't wear makeup. They have really good skincare routines. They look really young. I mean, you're talking about women in their 50s and in their 60s who you wouldn't even guess that they're that age unless they tell you. You're also talking about the younger generation, the ones that are between 20 to 30. They are, trying to move up in life. They are influencers. They want to look really good without the makeup and the filters. And then we have the elite group that they have been traveling. They've been doing this for years, and they want to maintain their look. The way you saw me 10 years ago, I want to look like that even now. So these women, they're not the popular ones. It's funny. People think it's just celebrities. I'm like, no, they're just average people like you and me who just want to look good physically and not with the pictures or with the makeup. These are the people we cater to.
I mean, I definitely appreciate the fact that at the end of the day, it still more or less still comes to your mentality and how you see yourself. So if
Yes.
you're looking in the mirror, and it's just like how someone who has really bad acne, for example, would want to get rid of it so they can appreciate their look in the mirror. So I see that aspect now. But I want to ask, for people who kind of see this as the extreme, like, oh wow, for you to go as far as having, injections in your face and all of that. Some people do see it as, oh, that's very extreme for me. I'd rather deal with like my face scrubs and my serums and all of that. How do you deal with perspectives like that? And even when it comes to negative comments, I'm sure you've had your fair share or your experiences with negative comments. So how do you deal with situations like that? I'm very curious.
It's like my saying. I say, you do you and let me do me. That's the first thing. Perspectives, sometimes it takes time to change one's perspective. And trust me, a lot of these people that are doing some of these procedures 10 years ago would have looked down on it and said, I can never do this. And that's why I always tell people, never say never. Because over time, there are some situations that, comes into your life and you're like, I really need a face revamp. And then the only thing that can give you that face revamp is not a serum, it's not a cream, and it's not makeup. So you're now telling yourself that maybe I just have to do this. So when I see people making negative comments, I really don't even notice. Like, I sometimes read it on my messages, I sometimes read it on chat, and I'm not noticing it because for me, it's only your perspective at this particular time of your life. And in few years to come, your perspective may or may not change. So it's left for you. Those people that say they would rather do the serums, trust me, I've had patients who've had dark circles under their eyes, eye bags, sunken eyes. They have used eye creams for the past 5 to 6, 7, 10 years. And then they've come to me and say, Dr. B, these creams, they're not working. Please, can I get fillers under my eyes or something to help with my eyes? I'm just sick and tired of it. What do? You do the treatment for them if all indication says they need it. And when they see the results, they're like, wow, I didn't know that this thing can really make a difference. I've always looked down on it, but it's instant. I'm seeing my results. I'm loving my eyes right now. That nothing beats that. So if you have, nothing. So if you have the perspective of, oh, you will never do this, and all of a sudden you now decide to want to try it, it's fine. Because who am I? I'm not going to convince you of something that you have made up your mind and said to yourself, I'm not going to do this. Because at that time in your life, you're looking at yourself and you're thinking you're perfect. I look gorgeous. My skin tone is perfect. I don't have wrinkles, lines. Women don't know what it is when you start having those wrinkles and lines. It just changes you. You're like, what? This is not the way I was looking before. I was hot. I was sexy. And all of a sudden, I'm looking like someone living in somebody's backyard. And even nobody notices me now. So when you start to feel like that, sometimes your perspective of life will change. So it's you do you, let them do them, let me do me. So it's nothing bad.
Can you share where people can find you as we round up?
Okay, so on I only have an Instagram. Well, I have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're more active on Instagram and on TikTok. Bridge Aesthetics is my clinic page. Bridge Aesthetics, BRICH Aesthetics, AESTHETICS. Bridge Aesthetics. Then I have my personal page on Instagram. I only have one page, and that's I am Dr. B. And on my personal page, you can see a lot of transformations that we have given to a lot of people in Nigeria, all over. I told you we're catering to a lot of people in West Africa. And I'm super excited about this interview. I was telling my clinic administrator when she was coordinating it that I would like to share more about the aesthetic industry in Nigeria to kind of debunk a lot of myths that are out there and about cosmetic enhancements in general. Look, if you want to do it, and make sure you're doing it right. Don't overdo it. Don't look too plastic. But then again, plastic is for some certain kind of people. There are some people that live for this. And if they're going to do it, they also need to do it right and make sure they know when to say, no, I'm done with this. So if you're going to get into this, it's also expensive. It's not cheap. It doesn't come cheap. It's something that is, it's time consuming and also financially consuming. It can take a lot of your money too. And you have to, I always tell people, you have to be strong financially to get into this, because you don't want to be counting your coins when you're doing it. And you're going to be like, oh, all of this has taken all of your money you've ever saved. So it's not for those people. It's for people who are very comfortable. And there's a lot of side effects that come with these. So when you go to a practitioner that is doing this, you have to ask those side effects, because people don't want to see the side effect part of it. There are a lot of complications that can come with these procedures. And yes, if you go to the right practitioner, the practitioner can not only do the procedure, they can also manage the complications that come with it. Because in any medical treatment, there is complications that are ascribed to that particular treatment. And the most important thing is you or the practitioner knowing when to draw the line and say, oh, there's a complication, we're going to manage it. So there's a lot of things that are going on with this particular field of medicine. It's still very new. And it's something that one needs to read, educate themselves, and ask questions. Don't assume. It's not the same for everybody. I can do the same procedure for two people, the same procedure, and I will have two different outcomes, because it's not what every individual is different. So please, we really need more education on this. I'm really great for, putting me on this platform. And like I said, you can go on my Instagram. I'm always doing some educational stuff on my stories, teaching and making sure there's a lot of awareness about this.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Dr. B, for your knowledge and for letting us know what we need to know when it comes to, aesthetics and cosmetology and all of that. We're really grateful. Thank you so much.
Brother Jumble, why you dey fumble? You no need to dey suffer to send money, Carry phone, make you dial the number 894. Make you know they wait. 894. No need to dey stand for line. 894. It is safe and secure. 894 for me. 894 and for you. 894. There's a number that could change your whole world. 894. It no matter if you don't get data. 894. Just pick your phone and dial the number 894 for me. 894 for you. 894 for Niger.
Dial star 894 hash to get started.
You fast back.
Can you play this one? The Good Life is whatever you want it to be. Choose Verve for the good life.
From the illustrious ladies of Alpha Alpha Omega Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated is the first historically Black sorority founded for Black women at Howard University in 1908.
In June of 2021, the long-anticipated Alpha Omega chapter was founded right here in Lagos, Nigeria.
We are extremely excited to partner with TW Magazine, who are creating this multi-day event, which will stream online as well as a live gathering. This spectacular event will focus on topics regarding women's health, such as fitness, money, nutrition, relationships, beauty, and many more. Healthy women will ensure a healthy family, a healthy community, and healthy nations. Get ready for a fun-filled informational event. Welcome to TW Oasis.
My true story, my brown skin.
My brown skin, my power.
My brown skin, my heritage. My brown skin, my legacy. My brown skin, my evolution. Brown skin, don't cry. Brown skin is you. My sexy, my brown skin. My true story, my brown skin.
My brown skin, my power.
My brown skin, my heritage. My brown skin, my legacy. My brown skin, my evolution. Brown skin, don't cry. Brown skin is you. My sexy, my brown skin.
And now we have come to the end with Dr. B. That was a fantastic session. Now, for me personally, I like to hear from experts before I make any decision. And when I talk about experts, I'm not talking about social media experts. I'm talking about the real experts. Now, in this era of cosmetic enhancements, Dr. B nailed it. You know, she nailed it. And what I loved most about what she said was the fact that she doesn't just say, okay, my client has come and my client needs this. She actually sits with them. She counsels them. And she determines whether they really do need the procedure that they want to go for. And I think that's what separates the wheat from the chaff, if you ask me. You know, so it's always good, always best to seek the advice of a professional. Now, there's nothing wrong with going the shortcut way, you know, but know why you're doing it and do it the right way. See who is here. Yay! We've been having a blast. And say, oh, how has it been?
Well done, babe.
Mwah. Thank you so much.
Finish your work.
My senior twin.
She's my first daughter. Thank you all. She's going to round up now. Bye.
So we have to round up. But we can't round up without thanking our sponsors. But before we get there, we have 5 winners. Remember at the beginning, I talked about goodies, right? So we've selected 5 winners, and I'm going to mention them. If you've been watching and you're still watching, I'm going to list out your name now. So we have Olufunke Giwa, Congratulations, Osa, Osowa. Please, if I murder your name, forgive me in advance, all right? I'm asking for forgiveness in advance. Motolani Abe Talabi, Idonghesit Peter, and Kanu Peace. I'm going to take that again. 5 names. Olufunke Giwa, Osa, Osowa, Motolani Abe Tolani, Idonghesit Peter, and Kanu Peace. These are the 5 winners for our goodies that we mentioned at the beginning. Now, it could range from anything. It could be a special ticket to the exclusive event tomorrow, or a free mud bath, or maybe a reflexology massage. You never can tell. But what you need to do to know what you have won is send a message to, send a DM to the TW Magazine, or send a message to the TW Magazine DM. I think that makes sense. Visit them on Instagram, all right, and go to the DM and let them know that you are one of those listed as a winner. All right, so you know what to win, and then, move on from there. All right, now, TW Oasis, the wellness experience, the first edition has been super, super, super awesome. So far, this has been the virtual experience. Tomorrow we're having the physical experience. Remember, we're going to have an amazing, amazing time tomorrow. Amazing sessions, amazing speakers, ranging from celebrities, actors, professionals, experts. I mean, I don't know if you know Steve Harris. Steve Harris is going to be there. Dr. Maymunah Kadiri, one of the foremost mental health practitioners in Nigeria, she's going to be there. We have Shaffy, an actress. We have so many people. So please do show up tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to be there as well. So yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. So be there.
So I thought
yes,
I should step in and tell you to remind people that is hybrid. So let's do it all over again. For all those who didn't hear, it's not just for people who come physically.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be hybrid.
That means
this person is going to be showing us some great stuff tomorrow.
Exactly. She's one of our sponsors.
So she's going to go round those things again. Because I understand, I was watching from the other side too, and most of you didn't hear. So you're going to go back and repeat again who the winners are. They can go to our Instagram page and DM us. And after that, they win either of any of those gifts, but they must be online. So I see you. So we need to speak up again, right?
Yes, we need to. Okay, so we have 5 winners for the goodie bags. All right. I'm going to list down the names again. Olufunke Giwa, Osa, Osowa, Motolani Abe Talabi, Idonghesit Peter, and Kanu Peace. These are the 5 winners. Again, I said the goodies can range from anything from a ticket to the event, a free mud bath, a reflexology massage, whatever the case. But you need to visit the TW Magazine Instagram page, go to their DM and let them know that you were listed as one of the winners, and then we take it from there. Okay, now we have tomorrow, the physical event. Again, it's hybrid. So you can be there physically, and then you can also watch the way you are watching me right now, virtually. So make it a date tomorrow. It kicks off at 2 p.m. on the dot. All right. Now, let's say thank you to some very special people. We all know that TW Oasis was brought to you by TW Magazine, but they didn't do it alone. This could not have happened alone. So we had like a whole gang of supporters behind us. So I'm going to list them out. Now, this was in partnership with First Bank and sponsored by Verve. Thank you so much. And our other partners are Zaron Cosmetics. I'm wearing them on my face right now. Fantastic products. Alpha Omega Chapter. Clean Peach. Needle Point. All right, they made this. Carib Health. And of course, Wow Connect. Wow Connect is our event planner and our event partner, and we're going to continue with this tomorrow. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for Wow Connect. I mean, we couldn't have done all this without you. You were massive. You guys, your team is just exceptional. Thank you for making this a success. So with this, I'm going to part ways with you for now. but I'll be with you tomorrow. And I can't wait to have you join us and have another extremely magnificent time talking wellness and learning wellness. Bye. Mwah.